Nobody in Kansas City has sports like 96.5 The Fan.
Right side throw, touchdown! Yard touchdown pass in overtime. Kansas City wins the game.
Welcome into The Drive with Carrington Harrison.
Back-to-back best sports talk hosts as voted on in the Pitch magazine.
Live from the Fan Studios. Here's CDOT.
Let's do this. Another day, another dollar, another edition of The Drive. You were listening to The Drive on 96.5 The Fan, 96.5thefan.com, and also the Odyssey app. My name is Carrington Harrison. Excited to be here with you on this wonderful, wonderful Wednesday. It does feel like a little bit of a weird week, at least in terms of our normal schedule. You know, we have a routine and a regimen just like football players, but when they play on Monday night, it throws things off just a little bit. But we did get a chance to be joined by the quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes. I got a chance to talk to him earlier today. We'll play that for you coming up in the 3 o'clock hour. We got a lot to get into. We'll kind of look back still just a bit to their Monday night football game against Jacksonville. We'll start the process of looking ahead to Sunday night football against the Detroit Lions. We got a lot to get into in today's show. We'll talk a little bit of college football as well, as I think Missouri is playing the biggest game that they've had in the SEC in probably a decade. You'd probably have to go back to the home game against Texas A&M, in which Johnny Manziel, his last college game, I think, to kind of point to it. But this is a massive weekend for a lot of the local teams. Missouri has a massive weekend, and the Chiefs obviously have a big game on Sunday Night Football against the Detroit Lions. We'll get to the Chiefs here coming up in just a bit, but I need you guys to do me a couple of favors. Number one, I need you listening to The Drive each day at 2 o'clock right here on 96.5 The Fan. Number two, I need you to tell one friend to check out the show. And number three, and most important, I need you to remember that the open of the show is brought to you every day by our friends over at The Other Place. If you're looking for somewhere after work today to get yourself a bite to eat, grab something to drink, maybe watch a little playoff baseball, the best place to do that is with our friends over at The Other Place. So I want to play this audio to kick things off from Jeff Saturday on ESPN's Get Up. Now, I believe the Chiefs are going to make the postseason. I have not pressed the panic button yet, but it is interesting to me that this is becoming a conversation nationally as the Chiefs have started the season 2-3. Here's Jeff Saturday on ESPN's Get Up.
They will be in the playoffs. This is too good of a football team to not make the playoffs. Here's the difference between when we're talking on these shows. I look at them through the lens the same way the Eagles as winning a Super Bowl. Not making the playoffs. Yeah. They're going to make the playoffs. Mm-hmm. And let me tell you, ain't nobody want to face them come playoff time, right? So it's a different mentality. We are judging them on a different standard than everybody else. Even the Broncos, as exciting as you would be to make the playoffs, that's exciting. That's not exciting for the Chiefs. They will make the playoffs. They will be explosive. They're going to add Rice. They're getting things back. They played physical against Jacksonville, who's a very good defense. They're going to be good.
That was Jeff Saturday on ESPN's Get Up. I think the Chiefs are in a very unique spot that maybe only Philadelphia is in, and it makes sense because these are the two teams that went to the Super Bowl last year. The Chiefs feel like they are in a place in which we think to them as the team they have been over the last 5 to 6 years. I think you'd be foolish not to. We have seen a lot of seasons or times where the Chiefs have had some ups and downs and come out on the other side. We've also seen where the Chiefs have really started to hit their stride in November and December and start playing their best football. It's still relatively early in the season. Now, it is getting close to not being early, and after this game, you will be a third of the way done with the NFL season. But I think we've always looked at this as their season kind of has two parts. It was the first 6 games minus Rashee Rice, and can the Chiefs stay afloat? Can they be 3-3, or could they have possibly been 4-2 heading into that stretch to really set yourself up for the second portion of your season, which you get back your number one playmaker, your offense is starting to gel a little bit, and you'll go from there. So a lot of those things are still very, very much in play. So I think on one side, we look at the Chiefs for the team that they've been over the last 5 to 6 years, and I think that's a great position to be. I also think we look at them through a lens of what we expect them to be in that portion of the season that I'm talking about. We've seen this team every year really start to figure some things out once the weather starts to change and really start to gel and become one of the better teams in the National Football League. But I think that puts them in a very interesting place as we sit here right now, and their 2 wins are against the Giants and the Ravens. The Ravens, who have been one of the more disappointing teams in 2025, and a Giants team that is probably going to pick in the top 5 of the NFL draft. I think the biggest takeaway that we have so far this season in the National Football League is the AFC as a whole. We are starting to get more and more clarity of the contending teams and who could potentially pop up. We didn't think this at the time, but I think it's going to end up being the case. That game against the Indianapolis Colts is going to be super, super important. Now, I don't think they are going to be the 1 seed, but we have certainly seen times before where the 1 seed in the AFC kind of comes out of nowhere and ends up surprising you. Well, wouldn't it be a team that we think is in a down division that could really eat up and rack up wins? Like if you're looking at the Colts next month of games, they got Arizona, they got the Chargers. Who knows what version you get with the Chargers? They play Tennessee and they play Pittsburgh. Like the Colts are in a very unique position this year, I think, to be 13-4 and find themselves as just one of those weird teams that end up having home field advantage. Now, in no way do I think you'd be afraid to go on the road to the Indianapolis Colts and to face Daniel Jones, but that is just a possibility. There are only 3 teams right now in the AFC that have 4 wins. You've lost to one of those teams in the Jacksonville Jaguars, and you play the other 2 teams later in the season in Buffalo and Indianapolis. So even though right now the Chiefs have taken a couple of defeats and been knocked down a little bit, they still have so many important games left on this schedule. Aside from the Sunday night game against a team that's in the NFC in Detroit, you still play the Indianapolis Colts. You still play Buffalo. You still have your 2 games against the Denver Broncos. You still play the Chargers. So there is still a lot of really important games that are left for this team. I think the conference is maybe a little bit more balanced than we thought. I think Buffalo, at least so far, has proven to be the best team in the AFC. But Jacksonville just got a nice win on Monday Night Football. The Colts, we're talking about them. They look like they could possibly be a good team. And I think at least most importantly, the division feels like it's very, very competitive. This is the team that has won this division in each of the last 9 seasons, and very rarely has it even gone to December. You can think of 1, 2, maybe 3 times where this has been a very competitive division late, and the Chiefs really desperately needed to get a win. I think they're going to end up being in that spot where you're going to have to win the game late in the season against the Los Angeles Chargers. You're going to have to win the game on the road at Denver coming up after the bye week. This division, I think, is very, very competitive, where you got 3 different teams that each have a claim to possibly being the best team in the division. I also think this conference right now is starting to kind of separate itself, where you're starting to get a feeling of, hey, who's the contenders? Who do you think's going to be in the playoffs? And who's kind of separated themselves as the teams that are not? I think if you really look, Rob, if we really go through the division and you look at the conference now at this point, I mean, there's a handful of teams that we can all but eliminate. I don't think there's a scenario, at least for me. I don't see a scenario in which Houston makes the postseason this year. I just don't think they're that kind of team. Cincinnati right now is 2-3, but they obviously have quarterback issues. If you got to go get Joe Flacco to save you, you're in a little bit of a rough spot. Baltimore, very disappointing. Miami, Cleveland, Tennessee, and the Jets. I mean, we're not even at the halfway point yet. But I think you can identify the 8 teams that realistically have a chance of making the postseason in the AFC, and there just doesn't really appear to be much separation between those teams. Like, if the playoffs started today, Kansas City wouldn't be in the playoffs. Obviously, a lot more time to go. But the wild card teams would be Jacksonville, Denver, and New England. Those are the teams that you're going to have to deal with and going to have to compete with the rest of the way. So I think as we're here and we're in a little bit of a transition week, some of this is just kind of taking a look at the landscape of the AFC. Where are you at from a top to bottom standpoint? Where are you at in regards to the division? And this just feels like one of the few times, Rob, that the Chiefs just feel like they are in the group. Usually they've been at the top of the leaderboard. They've usually been the team that everybody else is chasing. But in a golf tournament analogy, they're not the one right now that's sitting there at the leaderboard. They're a couple strokes back, and you are waiting for them to kind of make that push down the stretch and to potentially be one of those teams. We'll obviously see if Kansas City can be that team. They've been that team in the past, but if the Chiefs are going to win the race, so to speak, it's just going to be a much different path than we've seen them take over the course of the last 9 years in the AFC West and also in regards to the rest of the conference. Coming up on the other side, we'll continue to go through some of the national conversations around the Kansas City Chiefs as we start to shift towards Sunday Night Football at home against the Lions. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for K-State Athletics, 96.5. The Fan, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Hey, Mr. C, it's me. Well, I just picked up the ring. I actually went to Hellsberg. Thanks for that recommendation. Kate's gonna love that hers is from the same jeweler you got Mrs. C's ring from. They were so helpful throughout the whole process. They even knew your family by name, and the ring looks great. Anyways, I just couldn't wait to let you guys know. Call me back and wish me luck.
Hellsberg, designed with care and craft since 1915. Shop in store or at hellsberg.com.
Hey folks, I've got a couple of important questions for you. Do you know how much money you need to retire? Do you have a plan in place for your loved ones? If your answer is no, it's time to get your financial planning on track with UMB Private Wealth. It's never too late to start. Plus, their team supports you at every step of the planning process. Go to umb.com/privatewealth to schedule your appointment. That's umb.com/privatewealth. Why not start today?
Kansas City, it's time to turn up the heat. The Westport Sunfresh is back and better than ever. Now proudly part of the Cosentino Food Stores family. We're celebrating with a re-grand opening you won't want to miss. That means 3 full weeks of hot savings on the freshest produce, premium meats, and all your grocery favorites. Come experience the new and improved Westport Sunfresh, your neighborhood store, now with even more local love. Located in the heart of Westport, only at Cosentino's Westport Sunfresh.
FanDuel is getting you ready for kickoff with an offer you will not want to miss. New customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick a bet $5, and if it wins, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use all across the app. You can build parlays, bet player props, ride the live lines, whatever your style, FanDuel has you covered. The NFL season is finally here. The only question is, are you ready to play? Visit FanDuel.com/Alex to download the FanDuel app today and get started. FanDuel's official sports betting partner of 96.5 The Fan. Must be 21 and present in Kansas. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Getting help is your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700 or visit ksgamblinghelp.com.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I'm Scott Hansen, host of NFL Red Zone. Lowe's knows Sundays are for football. That's why we're here to help you get your next DIY project done, even when the clock isn't on your side. Whether that's a new Filtrete filter or Bosch and Cobalt power tools, Lowe's has everything you need to feel like the MVP of DIY. So get it done and earn your Sunday. Shop now, in-store and online. Lowe's, official partner of the NFL.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line.
But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
We know there's a lot that can go on during one night of baseball. Long home runs, epic pitching performances, catches that defy space, time, and gravity.
Climbing the wall. Did he catch it? He did!
But what if you could get all of that summarized in a quick, concise, and at least we think, funny podcast that's under 10 minutes? Check out MLB.com's Morning Lineup. It runs Monday through Friday mornings on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you love listening most.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this. This is 96.5 The Fan, your home for Chiefs football.
Welcome back into the show. We began today's show playing audio from Jeff Saturday. He was asked if he thinks the Chiefs are going to make the postseason. Now, I think the Chiefs are going to make the postseason. I think things steady out a little bit as they get Rashee Rice. I also don't think the Chiefs are going winless in one-score games the way that they have so far this season. And I think regression is going to happen on both sides. Last year, I think it's safe to say that the Chiefs probably played over their skis a little bit in the regular season. And if you go 11-0 in one-score coin flip kind of games, eventually things swing back towards the other side. So far this season, they are 0-3 in those games. I don't think the Chiefs are going 0-7 this season in one-score games. I think they're too good on offense, or at least developing into a team that's pretty capable on offense. I think they're too good on defense for the most part. They're too well coached. They're too proven. Things will even themselves out a little bit. I am taking a look right now with the AFC and trying to make sense of this thing. Well, right now, not a lot really seems to be clear. Like if you were looking at the teams right now, Rob, that lead their division, I would say three of the teams, I would say in general, the public does not believe in. The public doesn't believe in the Indianapolis Colts, and I certainly get it. Their quarterback is Daniel Jones. The public doesn't believe in the Pittsburgh Steelers. The public also doesn't believe in the Los Angeles Chargers. At least right now, as we are about a third of the way so far through the NFL regular season, there really aren't a lot of things that you can say pretty definitively at this point. And maybe it is an overreaction to what we just saw this past weekend in the National Football League that kind of flipped things upside down. But a majority of the teams that we thought were going to be the heavyweight teams in the league, they're not as good as we thought they were going to be. Green Bay was off to a great start, handled the Lions. Last two games for them, very, very shaky. They lost to the Cleveland Browns and then tied the Dallas Cowboys. The Ravens are 1-4 right now, and it doesn't look like they're going to have Lamar Jackson for their game. The Chiefs are off to a little bit of a slow start. Philadelphia, even though they're 4-1, I don't think that many people have been impressed with them and how they've looked so far. A lot of the returning heavyweight teams that you were expecting to kind of carry and dominate the league, they don't really look the part right now. And as the young upstart teams or the new fresh teams and the turnover of the league is happening, I think we're all trying to figure out right now who's good and who's not, who's a contender and who's a pretender.
I think, I don't know if this is good or bad news for the Chiefs. I think in years past, especially in Kansas City, we've noticed there is a class of, those are Super Bowl teams. And that class still exists, but usually that class was carrying 4, 5, 6 teams at some point. Like, at this point last year, the Chiefs were in this group. The Bills were in this group. The Eagles had started to separate themselves and show they were part of this group. The Lions were in this group at this point last season at this juncture in time. Like, that's 4 teams. I don't think that grouping this year has 4 teams. Now, the group below, it's kind of what we've talked about throughout the week. There's a group of teams in the AFC and the NFL that you can just poke holes in their resume, and we're basically the quarter pole pretty easy. And for the first time since, I guess, 2021, when the Chiefs started 3-4, the Chiefs are part of that middle pack, and that's why I think it's murky. I don't think there's some turnover and the new young guns are taking over the divisions, but people have questions with the Jags. Well, they're 4-1, but their questions are the schedule game and their quarterback. I just watched the Jags. Those are fair questions. You mentioned the Colts. A lot of the same questions exist for the Colts when we play the schedule game with them. The Steelers, it's not the schedule game. It's not a quarterback we don't know, but he's 41 years old. How much of that is real? The Chargers, some people are questioning the Chargers, which I think is somewhat fair considering they're starting to take on a lot of water with their health. Like, I mean, look at, they've lost Hampton, they've lost Najee Harris. Like, they are starting to take on water with their health, which always seems to happen to the Chargers. Like, I think there's just a lot of teams in the league this year that are part of that. We call it the wash. There's so many teams in that grouping, and I think in a fun way for fans, we don't know what the Super Bowl will look like, but it's good for Chiefs fans because they're in that grouping, but it's bad because usually the Chiefs are in the grouping of you feel like you know what they are at this point, and I don't know if anyone knows they are at this point.
Let me ask you this, and I understand that we are a long way away from this. Do you think that the AFC is kind of capable of a random quarterback? Because we've gotten those in the NFC. Like Nick Foles started in a Super Bowl. Rex Grossman started in a Super Bowl. It doesn't really feel like we've had that quarterback in the AFC probably since 2012, where I think you would say that just one of those years that you can't really explain. Joe Flacco and the Baltimore Ravens. No one looked at Flacco like he was one of the better quarterbacks. I mean, Peyton Manning's in the league at this time. Tom Brady is in the league at this time. The AFC, Ben Roethlisberger's in the AFC at this time, and it's pretty established. The Ravens, they go on the road, you remember. They beat the Broncos on the road with the long touchdown pass, and the Ravens end up going to and winning the Super Bowl this year. We talk about the AFC so much and the quarterbacks at the top for good measure. You got Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, all of those things. Well, Lamar's hurt right now. Joe Burrow's out for the remainder of the season. So at least the dominance that we expected at quarterback in the AFC has shifted so far in the first quarter of the season or so. Do you think that the AFC is capable of having one of those teams that just randomly pop up in the 1 year? Because that would be the Indianapolis Colts. That would be the Broncos. That would be the Jacksonville Jaguars, a team that was not on anybody's Super Bowl radar at the very beginning of the season that just exceeded all of their expectations. We look up and it's the second Sunday in February and we're like, wait, hold on. How did the Indianapolis Colts make it to the Super Bowl? They've had those teams in the NFC. It's been a while since that team has existed in the AFC.
I think is 100% possible because I feel like those random quarterbacks have been on the doorstep a bunch. And I know we talk about, eventually you break through. We talked about it with, Josh Allen, all these things. Maybe the answer to breaking through is a random quarterback. Because if I go through all the AFC title games, it's not like every AFC title game in the history ever is Manning and Brady and Allen and Mahomes.
You got a lot of Blake Bortles and Ryan Tannehill, for sure.
A lot of Blake Bortles and Ryan Tannehill.
Those guys always end up losing in the AFC Championship 100%. Game, though.
But now I think this season there are more of those random quarterbacks because Allen Mahomes, check and check. We don't know that Jackson's going to make the playoffs. He's not healthy. We don't think Burrow's going to make the playoffs. He's not healthy. The rest of the landscape is kind of that hodgepodge of randomness.
You're right, because then looking at it to kind of further your point, I mean, Aaron Rodgers is 41 years old. Trevor Lawrence has never really competed at this level for a reason to think that you could do it. Bo Nix is in his second season. Drake May shows some promise, but I don't know if that Patriots roster is ready to make a move. You're right. Like now that you've cut the quarterback power in half, it feels like, where you had a big four, now it's a big two. I mean, who's the third best quarterback right now in the AFC? If I asked you right now, playing this upcoming Sunday, who do you think is the third best quarterback in the AFC behind Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen?
I mean, it's crazy to say this.
The answer might be Daniel Jones.
I think the answer is Daniel Jones.
The answer might be Daniel Jones.
I mean, as far as playing the best, yeah, it's Daniel Jones. Which if you have him at 3 and he's a division leader, he would be in this hodgepodge of random conversation. So I think the fact that that other group, the miscellaneous, the close but no cigar group has so many people in it, and there's so many of those types of teams in the AFC. Maybe it's not Josh Allen who breaks through and eventually topples Mahomes 1 year. Maybe it is a random player like Daniel Jones who I was listening to one of the shows this morning. I think it was Get Up. Maybe it was First Take. Louis Riddick was saying he might be an MVP candidate, which just boggles my mind. And it's wrong. But
I'm not putting Daniel Jones in the MVP conversation before we get to Christmas time.
If they gave out the award in Week 5, he would probably be the Week 5 MVP.
I think it actually would be Baker Mayfield if I had to pick. Yeah, I'd have over Baker fair. Right now. Yeah.
But my point is, like, if he's playing the best, he could randomly do it. He has playoff success. He has a pedigree. I mean, I think that might be the answer. There's a lot of randos in the quarterback category in the AFC.
No, for sure. It absolutely is. Let me play this audio for you guys. This was Dominique Foxworth. He was on the Get Up. Here's what he said about the Chiefs.
But when you put yourself in this situation when you shouldn't be there, sometimes you're not going to win. So I don't think the Chiefs are like decidedly worse team than they were last year. I don't think all of a sudden they forgot how to manage these big moments. I think sometimes the randomness bounces in your favor and sometimes it doesn't, which is why the Chiefs, their offense looks better. So I feel more confident in this Chiefs team than just this loss in their record looks like right now. Honestly, I feel a little bit more confident in this Chiefs team now than I did last year because I saw their offense be able to be explosive. I know they'll get the defense figured out. They can blow up teams on offense now.
That was Dominique Foxworth on ESPN's Get Up talking about the Chiefs. I'm not as down on the defense. I understand what happened on that final play. I think we have seen spurts of inconsistency from the defense, but I still think we're talking about one of the top 10 defenses in the National Football League and a defensive unit that, if you want to talk about what usually gels in the second half of the season, it's normally the defense as they round into shape. There is a line of demarcation with the Chiefs defense. Usually there is a switch. Either Chamari Connor starts playing less, Noah Williams starts playing more, they figure this thing out, they make this adjustment. Like we've seen them do that time and time before, and I think what most people are waiting for is when those two things converge. When you get back healthy on the offensive side and you get Rashee Rice back, it has now gone over a year since you've had Rashee Rice in the offense. We are quite literally 1 week away from him being able to practice with the Kansas City Chiefs for the first time since last season. So you'll get Rashee Rice back. You also hope to see the defense continue to progress and progress and progress. And if you can get those two things to come together and you can shore up some of the issues that you had on special teams so far, then I think you find yourself with one of the better teams in the National Football League, which is what you are accustomed to with this team in November and December. Rob, did you see this? Do you know how many different versions there are of Taylor Swift's album? Like how many different versions? So there are like multiple vinyls. There's the acoustic version. Do you know how many different versions are available right now for you to purchase for Life of a Showgirl?
Well, the fact there's more than one is kind of astonishing to me, but I'll say 5. There are 5 versions.
There are 28 different versions of the Taylor Swift album for you to be able to purchase. So if you go to Target right now, because Target is the exclusive carrier of the vinyl, they have a orange vinyl, they have a purple vinyl, they got a blue vinyl. Like they are selling this thing to you 28 different ways. They just had an acoustic version, Rob, that was only going to be available on iTunes for 24 hours. You had to download it and buy it in the 24 hours. That was the only time that they were going to be able to sell it. How she has purposely repackaged this thing as many times over the course of 7 days like this has been a marketing masterclass is what we have seen. Why I am bringing that up. Now, I have not heard this song. I know about the song, but I ain't never heard the song. I don't think I ever plan on listening to this song because why would I? But to my understanding, Rob, and tell me if I'm wrong, there's a song on this album called Wood. And not like shoulda, coulda, would. I mean like wood, like a tree. Now, my understanding is that this song is about Travis Kelce. That's my understanding. Again, I haven't heard it. I can only go off secondhand information. I can only go off what I've heard. Now, I have heard one song from the album, that Ophelia song. Have you heard this song?
First off, I've heard Wood. I've also heard Fate of Ophelia, yes.
Okay, I didn't know it was called Fate of Ophelia. I did hear the Ophelia song.
It's not bad. That one's a little bit more boppy than the slow jams. I mean, that was more in your lane.
It sounded like Urban Outfitters music to me. It sounded like I should have been shopping for trousers. That wasn't really the kind of music that I listened to. But hey, if that's what you like, good for you. Not really for me, not really the kind of bops that I'm looking for. But hey, if it got you moving and it got you ready to go through the aisles at Kohl's, I'm happy for you. That's the kind of music that it sounded like to me. That's neither here nor there. So Jason Kelce, brother of Travis Kelce, they got a very popular podcast. And he asked him the question that we all want to know. Hey, there's a song about you. What's your reaction to the song?
Wood, great soundtrack. How do you feel about Wood? Let's ask this. How do you feel about Wood?
It's a great song.
It's a great song?
Yeah.
Do you feel like that? Do you feel cocky? Do you feel cocky about the song Wood?
No. Any song that she
That's
references me in.
That's not just any song. This is a very specific you.
I love that girl. So what do you mean? Any song that she would reference me in any
Well, it's not
way
just you,
or
though.
form.
It's an appendage. It's not just you as a...
What?
It's a very specific thing.
I think you're not understanding the song.
You're out of your mind. Come on. Redwood tree ain't hard to see. I thought redwood was a little bit, that's a generous word, I think. I think if somebody wrote a song about me, it'd be like Japanese maple sometimes can see.
You know what I really want to know, more so than his reaction to the song. I mean, the song, at least from the lyrics that I've read, sound very flattering, Like, she's telling the world that you handling business. Like, why would you be embarrassed about that?
Can you imagine if she wrote a song that was the opposite of flattering? She's like, yeah, my fiance, he's terrible. Like,
Yeah.
of course it's going to be flattering.
That'd be called Twig. That'd be a little different. That'd be a little different song. Wood sounds like strong, manly. This song could be called Twig. I just want to know, what was the conversation like when she was like, babe, I want you to hear this song? Like, the same way that your wife comes home and wants to tell you a work story. Babe, let me tell you what Brenda did at work. And you got to sit down and listen to it. And, you're like invested in the characters. This is part of any healthy relationship, a good work story. I just want to know the conversation when she's like, babe, I want to play for you the song that I wrote earlier today. Like, yeah, of course. Like, let me play it for you. Well, all right. Like, I want you to keep an open mind about it. Like, of course, like, I love you. Hey, I get it. You're working on this new project, working on this new album. Yeah, I want to hear it. That's what I want to know. I want to know, what was your reaction whenever she played for you this song? You're like, oh, yeah, that was about a couple nights ago. Yeah, I remember. That's what I really want to know. I want that version of the story. I want to know what it was like when she played it for you. There's some songs that I want to know the person's reaction. I want to know what Drake's reaction was the first time he heard Not Like Us. I imagine it wasn't a very fun time. I want to know what Travis Kelce's reaction was the first time that he heard Wood. The most famous woman in the world is out here telling everybody that you handling business, that you changed their life, you rocked their world. That's the kind of story that I want. That's what I want them to get to the bottom to on new heights. I want to figure that out.
I mean, I imagine he was, very happy. Like, if she comes to you and goes, hey, honey, I have this line. It's about you. It's called Redwood Tree. It ain't hard to see. Do you think he's going to be like, no thanks? I mean, it's a very flattering song. It's not like, what was Ariana Grande's song? It was like Ariana Grande's song about Pete Davidson, where she says basically the same thing, except for hers is thank you next. Pete Davidson probably didn't like that because it was after a breakup, but I imagine if she comes home, she's like, hey, I wrote this song, and she shows you the lyrics, I think Travis Kelce's going to be like, hey, I don't want to, no thanks. They'd be like, oh, that's very flattering. Thank you. That's what I imagine transpired.
Yeah, no, I was just curious to know. I wasn't sure. I didn't know. I was very curious.
You haven't listened to the song yet?
I don't know if I'm ever going to listen to that song. And that's okay. I tell you all the time, everything doesn't have to be for everybody. I'm okay. I'm all right. You listen to it for me, and then you report back. Do you want to be our show resident Swiftie?
I've heard.
Do we need a resident Swiftie on the show?
I don't know we need a full-time Swiftie, but I've heard enough of the songs to have an opinion on the album, and it's a fun little bop.
What's the rule when you and your wife are in the car? How do you guys handle the music? Who controls the aux? Is it the person behind the wheel? Do you control the music? Like, I just want to know, in what scenario were you listening to this album? Was she like cleaning up and she was playing it and you're like, you don't really have a choice in the matter? Was she driving so you had to listen? When did you listen to Life of a Showgirl?
Well, as you know, I was gone on Friday. I was
okay. Oh, you guys had
took a road trip to go up to a Celebration of Life.
You had to hear all 41 minutes of the album?
I heard a lot of the album, yeah. It was we were headed to Galena, Illinois, which is 6 hours. So we had some time to kill once we kind of exited the Kansas City metro area. So that's when I heard it.
What's the standout records for you on there? What are the
Fate
songs?
of Ophelia is really good. I like Canceled. Canceled's a good one. Those are the two that popped in my mind immediately. Wood stands out because it's just, when you think of Taylor Swift, you don't think of any of the lyrics she says in that song. None at all.
I got you. No, I didn't know. Godspeed to both of them. I'm happy. Just two people in love, I'm happy. We love on this show.
I'm just going to put it out there as a person in the media who loves the album. I would love a wedding invite. Just throwing it out there.
Okay, you know what? We'll work on that for you.
I mean, if we can get Mitch Holthus into 1587, we might as well just get a wedding invite. That's the same. That's 1 for 1.
For sure, 100%. Speaking of tight ends, this has nothing to do with what we were just talking about. This is just audio that makes me laugh. You guys know that Gronk, he is on NFL on Fox. And Emeka Egbuka, who was at Ohio State, now plays for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I mean, he is having a phenomenal season. He might be the offensive rookie of the year. Gronk tried to pronounce his name this week, and this is how he did it.
But Baker Mayfield also did it without his number 1 wide receiver, Mike Evans. And you got to give credit to this rookie sensation wide receiver out of Ohio State, Emeka Egbuka, going for over 100 yards. Emeka Egbuka. I'm getting confused. He's going lights out once again.
We all mess up, but I'm sorry, that was funny to me. How he pronounced this name is hilarious. He wasn't close. I love when an announcer can't pronounce somebody's name. At this point in my career, I just know the words I can say and the words I can't say, and I've just given up. Like the quarterback for UCLA that used to be at Tennessee, I tried to learn his last name. I just can't do it. You know who I'm talking about. You guys know Nico. Nico I. You know who he is. Like, I got to try to pronounce. Come on now. Like, why put myself in that situation? I've practiced it. I couldn't do it. Life's about knowing what you can and can't do. Now, I can pronounce Emeka Egbuka. I mean, that's a pretty easy one. I'm surprised that Gronk got tripped up like this.
But Baker Mayfield also did it without his number 1 wide receiver, Mike Evans. And you got to give credit to this rookie sensation wide receiver out of Ohio State, Emeka Egbuka, going for over.
Yeah, I mean, that was what I got. That's like whenever Charles Barkley couldn't pronounce Jonas Valanciunas. That was the one that used to get Charles. It got Charles for a couple of years. He just couldn't pronounce Jonas Valanciunas' last name. Just could not pronounce it. Rob, is there any name in sports that just trips you up? That you just, you know what, I've given up? Because I'm telling you, the former Tennessee quarterback that now plays at UCLA, I have just given up trying to pronounce his last name.
I don't think there's any off the top of my head I can think of. I'm sure the text line will point out one.
I'll give you another one, too, while you're thinking about it. Missouri, their former tight end, Albert O, another name. I just gave up on it. Like, I can't pronounce this. Like, come on.
Albert O was a bad one. I was
always impressed that Mike Kelly could pronounce his last name so well. Like, you just have an ability that I don't have, and I could acknowledge that. You guys know who I'm talking about if you're a Missouri fan. Albert O, I think he got drafted by Seattle, played for Denver for a little bit, bounced around the league for a little bit. He was a very productive tight end for Missouri. Had no clue how to pronounce his last name. He just Albert O to me. Ayo, you know who I'm talking about.
I say most of the local ones that are tough, we just say them so often that I get into a rhythm. Like when the Chiefs first drafted Kingsley, Suamataia, I was in absolute prison with how to say that. But now, for all the wrong reasons, we've talked about him so much that I feel like I'm pretty good there. There's none that come to the top of my head that give me a real problem.
Someone on the text line says, if I was his father, I would be very embarrassed. Imagine if their kids hear this song. Come on, Taylor, it's trashy. I'm just going to point out that if you've listened to pop culture music, I don't think that this song I haven't heard it, so I can only comment so far. I just think there are far more vulgar and obscene songs than Taylor Swift's would. I'm going to go on that limb. I'm also just going to imagine that scenario. How do you think you got here? You know what I mean? Like, you didn't get here from a stork. Like, what are you talking about? So, no, I don't really have that much of an issue with it. I just, hey, you know what? She's a grown woman making grown woman music. That's all. That's all right with me, Taylor. I'm on your side. I tell you, even though I'm not a Swiftie, I got no issues with the Swifties. I don't got to be a part of every pop culture trend. Hey, have it. Hey, I want you to if you are happy with the 28 versions of her album that she's selling you, hey, go out there and have it. That's cool with me. Good for you.
A lot of people are saying Tua's name. I do refer to him as Tua.
I can pronounce his last name. I learned how to pronounce his last name. It took me a little bit, but I got Tua Tagovailoa.
The way he says it, I can't pronounce it that way.
I mean, I don't want to. Come on now. I don't. That's too much. That's too much. That's way too much. Yeah, Tua Tagovailoa. Giannis's was a name. I learned that one. Giannis Antetokounmpo. Yeah, there's some people's name. Yeah, I practiced and I got it and I learned it. Yeah, but that one, I'm telling you, I can't do it. I can't do it. Someone said, see that, I secretly feel like you've heard this song. I promise you, I've only heard one song from this album. I heard the Ophelia song. And it was okay. It was fine. It sounded like it was like a little pop tune. I feel like that'll be a nice little single for the Swifties. Nice little bop to it. Just sounded like Urban Outfitters music to me. It just sounded like a song I would want to hear while I'm out buying trousers. That's the kind of music that it sounded like to me. All right, coming up on the other side, we got something way more important than Sunday Night Football, more important than our Patrick Mahomes interview coming up at 3:15. We finally have an update on the New Orleans prison escape. I can't wait to tell you what it is. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison. Watch the show on YouTube by subscribing to the 965 YouTube channel. The Drive, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. 965, The Fan.
DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is coming soon to the Show Me State. New Missouri customers can download the DraftKings Sportsbook app today. And when we go live, place just a $5 bet to unlock $300 in bonus bets. Starting November 17th, you can create your DraftKings Sportsbook account in Missouri and get ready for launch day on December 1st. DraftKings Sportsbook brings you everything you need to elevate your game day, including live in-game betting, lightning-fast payouts, and endless ways to get in on the action, all right from your phone. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and grab $300 in bonus bets with just a $5 bet when we go live December 1st. In partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 and over. Physically present in Missouri. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Excludes customers who redeem pre-launch sign-up offer. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
Another summer is ended, and you may have noticed that your energy is lower, your workouts aren't as productive, perhaps you aren't sleeping as well and feel foggy all the time, maybe even your sex drive is off. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if you're experiencing some or all of these symptoms, it's likely you have low testosterone. And if that's what's going on with you, don't wait. You need to call us at Heartland Men's Health and get treated for your low T, because living with low testosterone is no way to live. With our low T treatments, if you're like most guys, your life will change considerably. Improved sleep, better energy, greater gains in the gym, better mental clarity, and your sex drive will likely improve as well. Plus, most men see these results in just a few weeks. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes PSA and T-test and a medical consult. And if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600. That's 844-447-6600. Or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Looking for the ultimate spot to watch Sunday football? It's all happening at Brew Brothers inside Harris Casino, Kansas City. With NFL Sunday Ticket, you'll catch every game, every Sunday. So no matter who you root for, your team is always on. Add in ice-cold drinks, mouth-watering food, and a crowd that loves football just like you. And you've got the perfect game day atmosphere. Every snap, every score, every Sunday. Brew Brothers is football headquarters. Be there this weekend at Harris's Kansas City. 21 or older to gamble. Know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Century Roofing has done it again. Voted best roofing company in Johnson County for the 4th year in a row. If you didn't get your roof inspected after last year's hailstorms and your neighbors are getting new roofs, you might have damage too. Don't wait. Book your free inspection today and take advantage of our free material upgrade sale. This can mean big savings on your insurance premium. Trust the pillars of strength with female-owned Century Roofing. CenturyRoofingKC.com. That's CenturyRoofingKC.com.
Century Roofing. Trust the pillars of strength.
House stealing. It's a nightmare that's real.
It's the FBI's term for thieves stealing your home's title and draining your equity. Just one fake document filed with a recorder, and scammers can own your home on paper, drain your equity, and do it all without you even knowing. Imagine waking up to a foreclosure or eviction notice. Listen to former title thief Matt Cox.
What people don't realize is the ease in which this crime can happen. I can take the deed to your house and I can transfer that deed into my name. It's a great crime, and it's happening all the time.
So how can you stop the nightmare and protect yourself? Find out if you're already a victim now at HomeTitleLock.com. Use promo code RADIO and get a 30-day free trial of their $1 million triple lock protection, a title scan, and access to a title specialist, a $250 value. Don't wait. Go to HoldTitleLock.com now, promo code RADIO.
This afternoon, expect sunny skies with a high of 71.
Weather brought to you by Robert Half. Our recruiters' expertise and award-winning AI will find you the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today.
This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
Coming up at the top of the hour, we're going to talk about Tyquan Thornton, who is off to a fantastic start to his Chiefs career. This is a story that I told you guys we were going to keep you updated on. Now, we didn't have an update for a very, very long period of time. You guys remember back in May, there were 10 prisoners in a New Orleans jail that escaped. Now, a couple of these individuals got caught pretty quickly. One of them got caught underneath a car in the French Quarter that I cannot imagine a worse place to try to hide from the police than one of the most touristy places in America, but that's where he was. And then the news started coming in little by little of more and more of these guys getting caught. One of these individuals ended up getting to Baton Rouge. Baton Rouge is like an hour away. It's like New Orleans is Kansas City, and Baton Rouge is like Lawrence in this analogy. So it's a little bit of a distance away, but it's, it's obtainable to get there. There was one man who evaded police for quite some time. May concluded in June, July, August. The summer had completely gone by, and this man had still evaded police. Well, we have a conclusion to this story. Rob, hit the music. Authorities have captured escaped inmate Derek Groves in Atlanta, according to the deputy U.S. Marshal Brian Fair. Brian Fair confirmed on Wednesday afternoon that Groves was arrested in a home in southwest Atlanta after a search that lasted several hours. Now, are we guessing, Rob, that they got a tip to where Derek Groves were? Because he had been evading police for quite some time there. At one point, I read a story that they were unsure if they ever were going to catch him. But they find him in Atlanta. They find the house that he was in. Now, in this story, it says they searched this house for 3 hours and still couldn't find him. Talk about the ultimate hiding spot. The world's craziest game of hide and seek. He was in this house. They had information that he was in the house. They kicked down the door. They gassed the house. 3 hours they're looking for this man. They finally found him in a crawl space in the home basement. They gassed the property multiple times. For those of you that play Call of Duty, they just kept throwing him in there. Unlimited respawn. We know you're in here. You're coming out. Well, they got him now. He is back in custody. He escaped from jail on May 16th and was captured on October the 8th. Remained at large, but now they got him. He already was serving a life sentence. He was serving a life sentence for a second-degree murder. He opened fire at a Mardi Gras block party, killed 2 people, wounded several others. He also got charged with something different. They called him a cold-blooded killer. So they wasn't going to stop looking for this man. Oh, trust me, they was going to find you. And then they found you. Somebody turned him in.
100%.
No question in my mind, somebody that had been kind of putting you up,
took the money.
And they took the 50 racks. 100% they took the 50 racks.
So that makes a good point. Why are you hiding out in Atlanta? You gotta be in Mexico.
You gotta hide where you know people.
That's the last place to hide. Don't hire you know people. Those people will turn on you.
Well, I mean, you can't work. You need money to do stuff. I mean, you gotta go somewhere where you know people. I mean, I don't think this was some master plan. Like he would be going somewhere. Like people on the text line are saying, I would have been in Canada right now. I'd have been in Mexico by now. You gotta have a passport to do those things. You gotta have money to do those things. That's not what this doesn't sound like. This was Prison Break. This wasn't Michael Schofield that had a secret. This wasn't Shawshank Redemption where he escaped prison but had a whole nother identity so he could just drive across country lines and now be in some place. Like, no.
Also, Andy Dufresne had a job in prison, which he had a lot of money from.
For sure.
We presume this guy was not the jail accountant on top of being a convict.
Somebody on the text line believes that he maybe was in a spat with his girl, and then his girl is the one that turned him in. This is not confirmed. We're just trying to guess how they eventually found that he was at this house. How did they find him?
I mean, someone had to turn him in. They had the exact location. This wasn't like, hey, we think he's in Atlanta. Let's start searching. This was like, he's at 123 Oak Grove. 100%. Let's get him.
This was like that scene on The Wire whenever Stringer Bell gives Bunny Colvin the exact address. And the fact that they kept gas in the house and were at the house for 3 hours. They were 100% confident you were somewhere in there and they weren't leaving until you came out. Because we've seen it before. Now, at least how on the television it works. They go in there, clear, he's not here. And then everybody goes away. Like, no, they were not going away. They had this information. This information was pretty credible, and you were going back to jail. So Derek Groves, he had been on the road since May 16th, and he is finally now in custody. So.
I don't want to, credit a convict or anything. How well was he hidden in that house for 3 hours transpired?
He must have been, he said he was in a crawl space in the basement. So maybe he created something to hide down there. They just couldn't find it at first. But like maybe the gas just got too much and I can't breathe.
I say, if it took 3 hours for them to find him in the house, 100% got a tip. They knew the house and they couldn't find him for 3 hours.
100%. No, 100% that's the case. I want to play this for you guys. I don't want to spend too much time on this because, at least for right now, I'm a little frustrated with the Chiefs and the Royal Stadium conversation. There's just never any news. And then when we get a little bit of news, we act like it's the most important news. And maybe that's a cool thing to do in May and June when there's not a lot to talk about, but there's actually things to talk about. So why would I waste your time talking about the same theories that we've been talking about? It doesn't seem like it's a good use of anybody's time at this point. I want to play for you what Bob Fescoe had to say. Here's what he said on the Chiefs in a late development.
The Chiefs are also going to put out an RFP, or an RFQ as they call it in their world, a request for a proposal is what an RFP is, to every other design firm in the world that has built stadiums to say, hey, we're going to potentially build new in Kansas. Show us your best effort. So they're going to go to every architectural firm in the world, okay? And they're telling them, other than Populous, who's working on a renovated Arrowhead, they're going to every architectural firm in the world, give us your best people, give us your best design, put your best foot forward, let's see what you got. And those are 4 stadiums potentially in Kansas right now, right? The renovation is what's staying in Missouri. A new build would be in Kansas. So they're getting the best of both worlds. They're doing all of their due diligence. Give us your best foot forward on renovation. Give us your best foot forward on new in Kansas. And so the news is they're still talking to both sides of the state line. Now, I have heard and been told by multiple reliable sources that if the Chiefs wanted to build a stadium in Kansas today, they already have multiple sites that they currently own where they could build a brand new stadium today. And the other thing that is out there, and we've talked about this, the Kansas City Chiefs have had long, in-depth conversations with the Olathe School District about building their practice facility out in Olathe and getting in together with the school district to make it a learning experience and a learning environment for the Olathe school districts.
I swear to you, I do not mean this in any way to belittle Bob Fescoe's reporting. Bob is a friend, a colleague. I really don't mean it this way. At this point, what is happening, this will be like if your wife came up to you and told you she got options. Well, of course you do. Like, there's no shortage of people that want to sleep with your wife. I know, I'm not saying she would, but I'm telling you, there's no shortage of people that if given the opportunity would. So, yeah, I know. The Chiefs, there's no shortage of places in the city that would be very happy to have the Chiefs, and they are keeping all of their options open and talking to everybody. We've known this now for 18 months. We've known this. Wherever the Chiefs want to build their stadium, they would tear down Sprint Center to build the stadium right there, if that's where the Chiefs wanted it to be. So, yeah, I got it. Yeah, you like here. You're going through all of the options, and you'll make a decision that's in the best interest of your franchise. Yes, we know. I got it. Let us know when you guys make a decision. Now, they continue to drop enough breadcrumbs that they plan on building a new stadium in the state of Kansas. That's to me the news. But we've known that now for a year. The Chiefs are going to Kansas, and they will probably announce it after the Super Bowl. That's probably what will happen. They'll announce it in March or April that they have concluded, and they've done all their due diligence. I mean, we're talking about this is a year since they had us fill out that questionnaire. They've been doing this for a very, very long time. So I get it. It's a long process. We're talking about a multi-billion-dollar situation. So I get why they're taking their time, but it's just an update to tell us that they're still thinking. We know that. Coming up in just a little bit, we'll talk about Tyquan Thornton, who is off to a great start in his Chiefs career. We'll also play for you our conversation with the quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs. That's coming up. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
This is Wyatt Thompson from K-State, and you're listening to The Drive with CDOT right here on 96.5 The Fan and the Odyssey app.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Natural disasters happen every year. Fires, hurricanes, tornadoes. And with that, your most important moments recorded on VHS, camcorder tapes, and 8mm could all be gone in an instant. Cherished moments like your wedding, baby's first steps, family trips to Yellowstone, lost. Enter Legacy Box. Digitizing your old media with Legacy Box protects your irreplaceable memories from the threat of natural disaster by digitally preserving them onto thumb drive, DVD, or the cloud, so they're safe forever. Legacy Box is the safest and easiest way to preserve your past, which is why it's been trusted by over 1 million families. Send Legacy Box your home movies, photos, and film. Their team of trained professionals will do the rest right here in the U.S. For a limited time, Legacy Box is offering radio listeners an incredible 50% off. Go to legacybox.com/value and save 50% when you digitize your memories. That's legacybox.com/value.
FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, is coming to Missouri. On December 1st, you'll finally be able to bet on all your favorite teams and all your favorite sports. With FanDuel, there's a ton of ways for you to get in on the action. You can bet everything from the money line to over-unders to which team will win it all. You'll be able to build parlays, bet player props, or even ride the live line. Whatever your style, FanDuel has you covered. Plus, with live betting, you can pick which player will score the next touchdown or the touchdown after that. However you play your game, FanDuel's got your back. On December 1st, you'll be able to see for yourself why FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. With FanDuel, there's a ton of ways for you to get in on the action. FanDuel, play your game. FanDuel Sportsbook is an official sports betting partner of the NFL and 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
I don't sell lab-grown diamonds because they represent everything that can be bad about the jewelry industry and are the opposite of why my family is in it. This is Gene at House of Diamonds. I opened my diamond and custom jewelry shop to build relationships of trust with my customers. Prior to opening House of Diamonds, I worked at other jewelry stores and saw how that trust can be betrayed. And now I'm seeing it again with those who are selling lab-grown diamonds for thousands, nearly all of it profit, knowing that they are worth nothing the second they leave the store. So if you ever want to sell that lab diamond or want to trade up, you have literally nothing to sell or trade. That will never happen at House of Diamonds. We guarantee a trade-in value of 100% of the price you paid us for your hand-selected natural diamond. Don't become a lab-grown diamond victim. Learn more at mybigrock.com. And then come see me at House of Diamonds on the southeast corner of College and Quivira.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Also that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line.
But my throat has officially thrown in the towel. Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Introducing the IHOP Value Menu, where all your breakfast faves are just $6 each every day. Where else can you get a big, filling, sit-down breakfast for only $6? Go to your Happy Plates with the $6 IHOP Value Menu. Available every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations.
Chiefs coverage brought to you by Park and Go, the best deals on airport parking.
Don't fumble your airport parking. Score big with Park and Go. All covered parking, fast and free shuttles, and open 24/7. For the best deals in airport parking, reserve your spot now at bookparkandgo.com. Park and Go, family owned and fan approved.
Listen to the Chiefs and Lions on Sunday night with pregame starting at 4, kickoff at 7:20 with Mitch, Danon, and Kling right here on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan, KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, and Odyssey Sports Station.
All right, coming up in just a little bit, we are going to play our conversation with the quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes. Why don't we spend a little bit of time talking about wide receivers? Now, we are exactly 1 week away from Rashee Rice being able to practice again with the Kansas City Chiefs. 1 week away from him getting back onto the field. Now, I don't know if he started this or Chiefs Twitter started this. I don't know. I don't follow Rashee Rice on the social medias. But he tweeted, everybody's got to eat. And that's kind of been the moniker of the team. Now, I got to call my dear friend and my brother, Rob Brenton, to the front of the stage here because low-key, Rob be hating a little bit. And y'all be letting Rob slide on a day-by-day, game-by-game basis. I get so much hate on the text line, and you guys are always picking and coming after me that y'all let Rob's hate go undetected, and I'm hip to your game, so sometimes I got to point it out. So Rob came up to me today, and he was like, you see this stupid everybody's got to eat. I'm like, what do you mean? He was like, Rashee Rice just tweeted it. Everybody on my timeline's going crazy about it. I'm like, what's the problem? I don't know. It just seems like a Twitter acronym hashtag. And he was like, I hate those things. I looked at Rob and I said, Rob, you cheer for Kansas basketball. You guys always have a stupid acronym. I've never heard you come in here and be mad at Thomas Robinson for tweeting FOE or all the silly little things that you guys have put out there before. Rob, see, this is a little hateration. This is what I'm talking about. Let Darren Peterson come up with some stupid hashtag this basketball season. You will absolutely be hashtagging whatever silly thing Darren Peterson is promoting. So now don't be mad that you're not a part of the everybody got to eat. You're not eating. I try to make sure you eat on this show. Maybe you're trying to send some kind of message to me that you're not eating. But you can't hate on Chiefs Twitter having a hashtag when you cheer for Kansas basketball. When y'all come up, I remember there was a time y'all was calling it KUCMB. It's been a lot of nonsense coming from that side with the acronym. I would say you love an acronym.
So first off, there was a time in my life where I was all about FOE and all those things.
For sure, of course.
I was also,
last season.
I was also in my 20s. I was in college. I was young and dumb.
Yeah, the only reason you guys didn't like an acronym last year is because you hated your basketball team.
Yeah, the acronym was Bench Hunter Dickinson.
DNP is what it should be.
Secondarily, I will just say this about the hashtag EGE that catches fire on Chiefs Twitter, and this is 100% just hate, and that's fine. He hasn't played a snap this season.
I know, right now everybody else is eating and they leaving him a little bit of food so he can eat.
If Darren Peterson goes out and balls out against North Carolina and then has the hashtag, WB, we back, of course I'm going to tweet it.
That's crazy.
But you know what? At least he will have played a minute before he starts getting everyone all riled up over a hashtag. And I'm also mad because I'm old and washed. I had to Google what does EGE mean. Like, I just know because
you're not
who
hip.
would know?
That's your problem. You realize you're not hip anymore. You realize that you're outside the demographic.
I had to do my Googles like a curmudgeon. It was the worst.
Yeah. You know what, man? If y'all happy with EGE, everybody got to eat, man, I'm happy for you. Coming up in a little bit, we'll be joined by the quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes. He'll join us on the show. I do want to talk about this before we play our conversation with Patrick. Tyquan Thornton is exactly what people thought Sky Moore was going to be. Like, almost exactly what people thought he was going to be. I don't think many people thought that Sky Moore was going to be your traditional number one wide receiver. At least that's not how I remember it. People were comparing him to a Julian Edelman. He was going to end up being that kind of receiver. Now, I know it ended up being a roundabout way, but, I mean, didn't it all kind of work out in the end? Let me explain. Sky Moore was drafted in 2022. He was a second-round pick. He was the 54th overall pick. Do you guys know when Tyquan Thornton got drafted? He got drafted in 2022 in the second round, and he was the 50th pick. Now, you can't go back and get the time back, and if you had drafted Tyquan Thornton from the beginning, you certainly would have been in a better situation, or if you had moved up to go get him. But, like, in the end, didn't things kind of end up in a positive for the Chiefs? Like, they got, I think, exactly what they wanted to get with Tyquan or with Sky Moore. You got a very productive number 3 option for your team. If you were telling me that in a week you were going to have Rashee Rice as your 1, Xavier Worthy as your number 2, and Tyquan Thornton as a 25-year-old, his birthday was just in August, he's 25 years old, now entering the prime of his career, and that's your pass group. That's not a bad pass group. I mean, that's not the best in the National Football League, but you certainly can win with that. And now you got Hollywood Brown as your 4. You got Juju as your 5. You got Brashard Smith emerging as a guy that can catch the ball out of the backfield. You got to be really excited about this. Now, I think the question is, if you really want to play this thing out, is Tyquan Thornton, if he keeps having the season that he is having, he is an unrestricted free agent at the end of the season. Now, you would like to think that Kansas City would just pay the money to bring him back, but he certainly deserved a raise. Right now, he's making $1.1 million. He got no guaranteed money. He got a small little workout bonus, but he has certainly earned it. We're talking about now, if you're another team, why would you not give Tyquan Thornton a multiple-year contract? I think you are now seeing it was much more the quarterback. It was much more the Patriots. And if you put him in a good situation at 25, 26 years old, entering theoretically the prime of his career, then he's a pretty productive player. So I would say the contract that the Chiefs gave to Hollywood Brown, I don't know why that money just wouldn't be Tyquan Thornton's next year. You've shown that you're willing to pay somewhere between $8 to $10 million for that player. That's what I think Tyquan Thornton might end up being worth at the end of the season. He seems like a guy that's worth a 2-year, $16 million deal. Somebody's going to give it to him. Why wouldn't it be the Chiefs next year?
I mean, I understand your point. I think there's two different conversations at play here. One, I think your point about found money, basically, Tyquan Thornton, and getting everything out of Tyquan Thornton that they anticipate getting out of Sky Moore is 100%, and it is all the credit in the world to Brett Veach. This was a guy that not only did not hit the breaking news sounder when they signed him, because it was a futures contract or a practice squad contract in December of last season, it felt like a ho-hum, who cares type of move, and I shudder to think about what this offense looks like if he wasn't in it. So credit to everyone involved for finding and making the most out of Tyquan Thornton. You're right. They do get to cover their loss a little bit with Sky Moore being a miss by having Tyquan Thornton on the roster. I do think there's a second conversation at play, though, which you kind of touched on there. The Chiefs need to keep finding these type of players, making these type of players, and then walking away from these type of players. Like, Tyquan Thornton is better than Justin Watson, but Justin Watson's another guy who falls into this category of a guy the Chiefs found, they brought in for literally no money. They got the absolute most out of his ability, and then they walked. And now I don't know if Justin Watson is doing anything this season for the Texans. So great find. Good job getting the most out of him. You try to retain him at the end of the season, but if you can't, it's no harm, no foul, because you have now shown you can make this player happen in this offense with Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be against. Now, I don't think that Tyquan Thornton's going to break the bank for anybody. I think he's proven that he's a capable wide receiver number 3 option for you. And you know I say this all the time. We talk about putting weapons around Pat and giving Pat everything that he needs. I mean, keeping the continuity. I mean, you can have another really productive passing group for the next 18 months or so. Rice is under a rookie deal. Worthy is under a rookie deal. Tyquan Thornton's 26 years old. And I would presume, now, if we're going to play this thing forward just a little bit, and we'll play Patrick Mahomes here coming up in a bit, I mean, they're going to have to do something at running back at the end of the season. This isn't even me complaining about the running back room. They have 3 running backs on 1-year contracts. The only running back that they have under contract for next year is Bashard Smith. They got to do something next year at the position. Like, you can have a really solid, strong nucleus of young players in a very, very short period of time without really doing a lot. Pay Tyquan Thornton what I think the market's going to be. I think the market's around 2 for $12 for him. You go get you a running back next year, man, you got a really solid nucleus of guys between 24 and 26 years old. These are the kind of players that I want the Chiefs to keep taking chances on. I want the Chiefs to keep taking chances on guys that maybe didn't work for another organization, but you bring them here. They were technically still on their rookie deal. You got Tyquan Thornton for $1 million. If it works, great. If it doesn't work, then you're happy to move on. I mean, you're going to miss these more times than not, but this is the same kind of lever pull that you had with Justin Ross. This is the same lever pull that you've done with Emmanuel Ogbah and some of those other players. You're not going to hit home runs every time, but when you do with a player like Tyquan Thornton, if you're telling me that you get a player this season, let's say he has 650 yards, I bet you if you and I look up 650-yard wide receivers this year, very few of them are going to be on a, I guess, second contract, failed in this kind of way. They're either going to be a proven guy or a guy that's on a rookie deal. Like, you found somebody right there in that sweet spot. He was a guy that got cut, didn't have a home. You brought him in, you put him on your practice squad. You then kept him through the following season, and look how it's rewarded you. You just got to always be taking those chances and always trying to find those very productive players that seemingly aren't going to cost you anything. As we talk about some players who are maybe getting paid and not living up to the contract, Tyquan Thornton is the reverse. He's a guy that's making $1.1 million and giving you $8-9 million production. That's the kind of players that they need to continue to take chances on. All right, Rob, hit the music.
He's QB1.
And at quarterback from Texas Tech, number 15, Patrick Mahomes.
He's a 3-time Super Bowl champion.
Mahomes moving to his left laterally, chased, holding it, and gets out of bounds and up the sideline. He's not out of bounds yet. He's at the 10, inside the 10, he dives for the end zone. Touchdown, Kansas City. A remarkable acrobatic scramble on a 27-yard run. Maybe the best play yet.
2-time MVP and 3-time Super Bowl MVP.
Patrick Mahomes with Mahomes magic. Starting left, peeling right, 3 drives, 3 touchdowns for the Chiefs.
And you can hear him right here every week with CDOT, exclusively on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan. Here's Patrick Mahomes.
Every week, we are joined by the quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs, and his appearance on The Drive is brought to you by Telly Tire and Auto Centers. Winning starts with a great drive. Since 1942, Telly certified techs have delivered complete car care with top brand tires and expert auto service. Keep your drive going. Take it to the Telly. Visit tellytire.com today. Earlier today, I got a chance to catch up with the quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes. Our conversation started with, he was on Monday Night Countdown. It was Patrick Mahomes, Jason Kelce, Travis Kelce, and Coach Reed. Our conversation started with, how cool was it to be a part of that grouping?
Yeah, I mean, it's really cool. I mean, obviously, those are guys that are going to be in Canton one day, and to be able to have conversation with them, and obviously, they're all friends of mine, and so really cool just to get the insight. And obviously the stuff on camera is awesome, but the stuff behind the scenes is even better. And so honored to call them friends and my coach and my teammate.
I went back and looked this up. Do you remember your first Sunday Night Football game at Arrowhead? Because I completely forgot when it was. Do you remember it?
No, only one I can think of is like the Bengals one. I don't know if that was the first one though. That was one of the early ones in my career.
That was your first. You guys won 45-10. I looked this up. You threw for 4 touchdown passes. Kareem Hunt led you guys in rushing, and Travis Kelce led you guys in receiving. This was in your first year as a starter in 2018. Kareem Hunt leading you guys in rushing, and Travis Kelce leading you guys in receiving. Some things never change.
Yeah, no, I mean we've had a good run. So yeah, I mean obviously that was a good night. So hopefully we can do something to replicate that. But I mean we're going up against a great Lions team. So I think it'll be a tough challenge for us, but we're excited for it.
You talked about this before, that 3:25 is your favorite time. But what is it like to play under the lights at night at Arrowhead?
It's really cool. I mean, obviously the fans and like how loud they are and how passionate they are. But I think just the stadium and just being in the stadium and the whole environment. I mean, you can feel the history of the game. You can feel the history of the stadium. And so to be able to come out of the tunnel and be at Arrowhead, a night game, it's a thing that I'll never get tired of and something that I'll cherish those memories later on in life.
Right now, we're talking to the quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes. Patrick, I feel like we were in the exact same place the last time that you guys were in a home game. You guys were 1-2, and it was the difference in being 2-2 and then 1-3. I feel like we're in the exact same place heading into this matchup against the Lions.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're going up against another good football team and a game that we really need to win. And so it's going to take us just being the best that we could possibly be. I think we've done it in spurts throughout the regular season so far, but we got to be better at being consistent through an entire game from the beginning to the end, and that's what it's going to take in order to win this football game.
What is it about the Lions' offense that makes them so dynamic?
Yeah, I mean, they got a lot of great players, and they have a really good scheme. So, I mean, I think they do a great job. I mean, obviously they can run the ball, they can pass the ball. Jared's done a great job of distributing the ball to all their different playmakers, and when you have that many good players and that good of a scheme, it's hard to account for, and they've done a good job of that these last few years.
Is it frustrating for you to see the improvements and growth that you guys have had in the team, but maybe not that being reflective in the record? I think the offense has had a great transformation over the course of the season so far, but you guys sit here in 2-3. Is it frustrating to see the progress that you guys are having on a day-to-day basis, but that not being reflective in the record?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think it's just frustrating to lose in general. So, I mean, I think obviously all you can do is continue to get better and better. But more than that, I think obviously we've done a lot of things positively, offensively, but we got to make the winning plays. If you look at all our losses, if it's the interceptions down in the red zone or a couple plays here and there, we haven't made those winning plays offensively. And so I think that's something that we can improve on. And if we do that, I think with how we're playing offensively, the rest of the way that we can be a high-powered offense and help take pressure off our defense so they can go out there and do what they need to do.
You personally, and a lot of guys on your team, you've been through the ups and downs of a season, so I don't think that you personally are in a panic mode. How are you keeping guys kind of even keel that haven't been through the battles, haven't been through the ups and downs, that just because we're 2-3, there's still obviously a lot of time to turn this thing around?
Yeah, I mean, all you can do is focus on the day. You know, we've kind of had all types of different seasons over my tenure, but we've always figured it out at some point. And so we're going to go to work like we always do, try to keep up the intensity, get better at executing and cleaning up the penalties and the little things that we've done throughout the beginning of this year. But at the end of the day, man, we got to go out there and just execute and go out there and prove it on Sundays. And we haven't been able to make those winning plays, and we got to find a way to make those plays. And all we can do is focus on today's practice and focus on this week against the Lions.
Right now, we're talking to the quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes. Patrick, let's go back to the Monday night game. Can you take us through the interception? Can you take us through what you saw? Can you take us through the play?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they were in kind of a cover zero type look, and we had after just film and stuff like that, when they gotten inside that 5-10 yard area, they haven't shown what we call poppers, where guys blitz and then they pop back out, and that's something that they did more in the field, and so we were alert for that in the field. But obviously, I got to the check that I believe was going to be the right play, and even though that I hadn't seen it on film, I got to still see the throw before I throw it. So I got to the check and we got Juju wide open, and we thought they might do what they did, which is two guys take one of our receivers. But you got to still see the guy in front of Juju and try to progress to the next route. So obviously can't make that mistake in that type of game. And then after that, got to find a way to get them down on a tackle or slow them down for my teammates to get there and make that tackle, because that was a 14-point swing, and it obviously was costly, and it kind of cost us the game.
I was going to ask you about that tackle. What are you advised to do in this situation? Obviously, you're a very important player. No one wants you to get injured on that play. Are you trying to bring him down? Are you trying to slow him down, push him out of bounds? Like, what's your thought process when that's happening?
No, I mean, I've never been advised anything else other than get the guy down. I mean, I'm a football player at the end of the day, and I made the mistake, so I got to find a way to make the tackle. And he got me with a good move, and I wasn't able to get anything on him to slow him down enough for the other guys to get there. But when you're kind of in that quarterback position on interceptions, it's kind of like playing safety. You're kind of the last line of defense, and if you don't make the play, you got to at least slow him down for others to get there to make the play.
Patrick, I don't feel like a lot of people are going to reference this, and I get it, you guys lost the game, but the drive that you guys put together for your last offensive drive where you got a complete, set of time, that was like a really good drive. What do you think made that drive so successful?
Yeah, I think guys just accepted the challenge. We've been in those situations before, but it was good to see guys accept the challenge of kind of dealing with some of the adversity that we had dealt with the interceptions and the kind of the stalling out drives that we had in that second half, and guys to step up and say we need a touchdown, let's go get a touchdown. And we did a great job. The offensive line did a great job protecting in that situation. The guys got open down the field, and then we didn't hurt ourselves with penalties or anything like that. So that showcases what we can be, but we got to do that more consistently throughout an entire game.
I feel like watching a lot of these shows that you've been featured in, I've seen you train. I know the kind of work that you put in. And when you had that run where you get away from the defense, I felt like I had that one Leonardo DiCaprio gift, like, ooh, I've seen him work on that before.
Yeah, no, I prepared for this stuff, and I know I might not be like the number one rusher or anything like that, but I always prepare myself that I can get out of trouble if I need to, and whenever it's called for, I try to use my legs and use my mobility to go out there and make things happen.
Talking to Patrick Mahomes here for a couple more minutes. Patrick, what do you make of the AFC right now and the amount of parity that appears to exist? Also in the division, this feels like you guys are in the middle of a very difficult race with three teams that could possibly win this thing.
Yeah, I think the AFC just in general, really in the NFL just in general. I mean, there's so much parity, and Coach Reed says it like every year, but he's been huge on it. And all these games come down to one-score games for the most part, and it's about who can execute at the higher level and win those games. And we've done a good job of doing that throughout my career here, but we haven't done that this year, and that's the difference of being in a place that you want to be in and then being in a place where you don't want to be. And so we got to be better at these one-score games, finding ways to win the game. And that comes with execution, and we got to continue to get better and better at that sooner rather than later.
You and I haven't really got a chance to talk about it. Your thoughts on the kickoff rule? Are you a fan of it? Do you like it? Do you not like it? What do you make of the new kickoff rules?
I mean, it just is what it is. I'm not really partial either way. I'm just kind of play the game, and however the rules are presented. The rules are always changing a little bit here and there, and they're trying to make football the safest they can be, but also keep the integrity of the game, and I just play it with whatever the rules are when I show up that season.
Yeah, I was just curious, I guess, unless how it affects offenses, because, one mistake, the ball can be on the 40-yard line, and just starting the ball on the 40-yard line is just such a tremendous advantage. I was just curious from an offensive perspective, how do you guys attack it with field position being so different this year?
Yeah, I mean, I just play with wherever we end up at. I think it makes special teams important. I think that's more important than maybe these last few years with the kickoffs kind of going through the back of the end zone. So I think it makes you have to execute high on special teams, and I feel like we have one of the best special teams out there, and I'm sure they're going to clean some stuff up from this last week. But overall, I feel like it's an advantage for us as far as the kickoffs and the returners that we have and the coaches that we have, that we can use that to our advantage. We just got to be better than we were this last week.
Last two things here. As you guys begin a new week, as you guys begin a practice week, what's your mindset going into a very important home game for you guys and a very important home stretch with 3 straight home games?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of time to go. I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, we've gotten 3 losses now, and like you said, it's a very tight, contested division and AFC, and so there's no more waiting around. We're playing a really good football team this week that plays extremely hard, and we know it's gonna be a great challenge. But we gotta match the intensity. We gotta match the opportunity, and go out there and find a way to win the football game, no matter what it takes.
I'll get you out of here with this last question. One of the big talking points on the show from fans yesterday was about Chris Jones on the final defensive play of the game. I'm curious, just as one of the leaders and he also being one of the leaders on the team, how do you guys talk about accountability? How do you guys hold each other accountable in those situations?
Yeah, I mean, I believe in Chris Jones no matter what, man. He's done so much for this team and for this organization, being a leader, and I think people don't even understand how much of a leader he is on this team. But he's a guy that's kind of made us go throughout my career, and I know in big moments he's going to make big plays. And so people always look back and see stuff after losses and stuff like that, and they judge that stuff, but I judge the guy and the character he brings into the building every single day.
That is the quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, joining us on the show today. They are on Sunday Night Football this week against the Detroit Lions. Patrick, man, really appreciate your time. Catch up with you next week.
Yeah, appreciate you.
Absolutely. That is our conversation with the quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs. The appearance for Patrick Mahomes on the drive is brought to you by Telly Tire and Auto Center. Winning starts with a great drive. Since 1942, Telly certified techs have delivered complete car care with top brand tires and expert auto service. Keep your drive going. Take it to Telly. Visit tellytire.com today. Coming up on the other side, we'll play for you what Andy Reid had to say about Chris Jones. That's all coming up. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison, a show that prides itself on getting it right.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. 96.5, The Fan.
BetMGM is inviting you to charge the field this pro football season. Existing BetMGM customers can have a ball without having to sweat. Log into your account to get a pro football no sweat token. Apply the token to your next pro football bet. If you lose with the token attached, you'll get your stake back in bonus bets. That's right. With a no sweat token, you get your stake back in bonus bets if you don't win. There's nothing like a fresh set of downs. And that's just what BetMGM is offering if you don't win with a no-sweat token. Find your favorite matchup and be part of the action. Make this pro football season one for the ages. Make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards are non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Around here, we've got each other's backs. When it comes to health insurance, we want that same kind of support. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City gets that. They're from around here too. Backed by the national strength of the Cross and Shield, they help you make confident choices, no matter where you are. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. From here for wherever you are. That's the benefit of blue.
Good morning, Casey's Country. Darn good coffee's now 49 cents when you buy any breakfast sandwich or burrito. Some are calling it a great deal. I call it sensational. I'm so sorry. Bad joke. Good deal, though. It's not crazy. It's Casey's. See store for details.
Schedule your home improvement project while the weather is still nice with Powell Exteriors KC. They offer easy financing, pay no interest until 2027, a 10-year workmanship warranty, and their extended summer sale. PowellExteriorsKC.com. The power of KC is Powell Exteriors KC.
Hey, Zach, are you smiling at my gorgeous canyon view?
No, Donald. I'm smiling because I've got something I want to tell the whole world.
Well, do it. Shout it out.
T-Mobile's got home internet.
Whoa, I love that echo. T-Mobile's got home internet.
How much is it?
Look at that, Zach. We got the neighbor's attention.
Just $35 a month. And you love a great deal, Denise.
Plus, they've got a 5-year price guarantee. That's 5 whole trips around the sun.
I'm switching. Me too.
Yes, T-Mobile home internet for the neighborhood.
Donald, you still haven't returned my weed whacker.
Carl, don't you embarrass me like this, please.
What's everyone yelling about?
T-Mobile's got home internet.
And Donald's got my weed whacker.
Yes, T-Mobile's got home internet. Just $35 a month with auto pay and any voice line. And it's guaranteed for 5 years.
Beautiful yodeling, Carl.
Taxes and fees apply. See T-Mobile.com/ISP for details and exclusions. Around here, we've got each other's backs. When it comes to health insurance, we want that same kind of support. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City gets that. They're from around here too. Backed by the national strength of the Cross and Shield, they help you make confident choices, no matter where you are. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. From here for wherever you are. That's the benefit of blue.
Prime Big Deal Days is here, so you can get a great deal on a new foot spa. Transforming you into the queen of kicking it.
Wait, this has bubble jets. Okay.
Get up to 40% off with Prime Big Deal Days now.
You've still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6812. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-6812. That's 800-575-6812.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Chiefs coverage brought to you by Community America Credit Union. Member owned, open to all. Community America Credit Union. Invested in you. Cody and Gold are broadcasting live this Friday from Community America Credit Union's Red Friday Tailgate in Raymore. Located at 1400 West Foxwood Drive. Meet the Chiefs cheerleaders and Casey Wolf. Grab Chiefs gear and win tickets to an upcoming Chiefs game. This Friday, only at Community America Credit Union in Raymore.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Good afternoon, Crash. Let's see, K10 eastbound just past Kill Creek. The right lane is blocked. Missouri side of things, 435 northbound. Just before Gregory Boulevard, it's the two right lanes blocked there. From the Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, Electric Traffic Center, I'm Val, 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Hey, it's Trey Smith from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome back to the Drive with CDOT on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
All right, a couple of things that I want to get to in this segment. The first thing that I would like to play for you guys is this is Andy Reid and his message to Chris Jones after the final play, at least on defense for the Chiefs on Monday Night Football.
Well, you can't think that the guy's down. I mean, you can't think that. You got to just play the play. He knows. I mean, he's been around this thing a long time, so that's really what it came down to.
One thing that I'm going to highlight in this matchup, and I imagine is just going to be a major talking point, is, man, the Chiefs really need Chris Jones this week. So I don't care what needs to happen. If you feel like deleting your social media is what you need to do, that's perfectly fine. If you needed to have a sit down with the leadership council of the team, if Andy had to chew you out, whatever it is. But I don't know if they can beat the Detroit Lions if they don't get a good version of Chris Jones. This is the most complete team offensively that I think you can play in the National Football League. I think they're more complete than Buffalo offensively. I mean, they have the best 1-2 punch at running back. They've got a legitimate number one receiver in Amon-Ra St. Brown. Jamison Williams has finally figured things out. They've got a very good tight end in Sam Laporta. This is an offense that can do everything. Better than Philadelphia, better than Buffalo. This is the number one offense in the league. If you don't get a good version of Chris Jones, especially with their offensive line perceived to be maybe the best in the National Football League, I just don't know if you can win this game against them. This is a game that you would have to expect that the Lions are going to put up points. They put up points on everybody. So I know in the past I've said the Chiefs got to turn this into a rock fight and try to win this game 21-17. I don't think you're beating Detroit 21-17. You need to try to beat them 31-28. This has to be a 28-24, 28-27 kind of game. In my opinion, you were playing the second best team in the league. I would put Buffalo number 1. I'd put Detroit number 2. But if you put Detroit number 1, I wouldn't be mad if that's how you've done it. But back to Chris Jones, you need Chris Jones refocused and re-engaged for this matchup. And if you are the competitor that I believe Chris Jones is, just because you're not on social media doesn't mean that you don't know what people are saying on social media about you. That was a theme of the press conference. Mahomes got asked about it. Andy got asked about it. I mean, it's out there. People have seen it the last play. They've seen your effort. I'm sure that it's come up in the film. You know how you're supposed to handle these situations, how you need to play. And if you do that kind of stuff against the Lions, they will embarrass you on Sunday Night Football and come into your house with their offense and put 35, 38 points against you. They're capable of doing that. So the Chiefs need the best version of Chris Jones. However you get there on Sunday, that's what you need to go out there and win this game.
I feel like time will tell. The answer will come later. But I feel like the deleting social media thing is, we're making a big deal about it now because it happened this week, But if he gets refocused, if he comes out and he is the Chris Jones that we saw 2-3 years ago, or even at times last year, a dominant force, and he's a problem for the Lions, who, by the way, had their center retire just ahead of training camp, so he has a chance to feast. If he's that guy on Sunday and then goes out and does it again against the Raiders, suddenly we're talking about, hey, Chris Jones just needed to refocus, get re-energized, get away from the fan base for a little bit, get out of his own head, and just get to work. That's the narrative. But if he goes out and has another, I don't want to say poor, but iffy performance against the Lions, if he gets pushed around and then he's kind of a no-show against the Raiders, you know how fans are going to play this. They're going to say that he has thin skin, he deleted social media because he's not up to his own standards. Like, I think the social media story is interesting only because the narrative of what happened will change depending on his play the next couple weeks. Or maybe he'll play great and come back to social media and tweet something like, hey, I'm back, and then fans will be like, oh, look, Chris Jones is back, we love it. It's interesting to see what will play out, but I don't love the idea of deleting social media right now.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it. This is where I would say. So on the text line, someone says, dude, deleting your social media is such a weak-looking move. Now, I don't want you guys to take this the wrong way, but I think the one place that I can identify with their job is here. There are very little benefits to being on social media. Our job is a little bit different. Like, I use social media to collect information and read stories. Like, I kind of have to be on there for the job. But I could completely understand how, if you're a football player, I could understand how you can make the determination, you know what, for this week, I don't need to be on there. It is a constant barrage of people telling you that you're not good. And I could understand how, in your free time on your phone, you just don't want to read it. You just don't want to read it. So I don't care what Tim and Olathe feels about you deleting your Twitter or Instagram. Whatever you feel like you need to do to have a certain level of peace in your personal life is perfectly fine with me. I don't care about that. This needs to be a conversation that needs to be had between the power structure of the Kansas City Chiefs, and the accountability needs to happen from the coaching staff. And at some point, you as a professional, you as one of the greatest players to ever play in your position, a guy that we think is going to Canton, Ohio, you need to play better than you played on Monday Night Football and Sunday Night Football. Point blank, period. Your team needs you. Like, some of that accountability we keep, I think now we have turned Eric Bieniemy into like this master motivator. Like, some of this just has to come from you guys. It's got to come from Patrick Mahomes. It's got to come from Travis Kelce. It's got to come from Chris Jones. It's got to come from Harrison Butker. It's got to come from guys who have played in and won big games. And you would think, just because these guys have worked together for so long, there has to be a mutual respect that you got to be able to go to the next guy and tell him, hey, you got to pick it up. Hey, Pat, you can't make that throw. That's a relationship that you got to build up over time. Hey, Travis, you got to turn your head quicker. You can't drop that ball as we are going into the end zone against Philadelphia. Hey, Harrison, we need you here. So if you haven't built that up for a team that at least we believe, not on their team, but we see it, that seem to have good camaraderie, seem to have good chemistry, seem to all be working on one accord, man, some of that stuff has to be just self-motivating. Some of that has to be self-accountability, and not like you personally. I mean just within your group and being able to go to the next man and tell them, do your job. At the end of the game against the Chargers, that's what Drew Tranquill is doing. You can read his mouth. He took his helmet off and told Chris Jones, when you do that, it leaves the rest of us out to dry. Remember, that was the Patriots mantra. Do your job. Your job does not involve you being on social media if you're Chris Jones. It doesn't. I've told you all the time, I don't really see any benefits for professional athletes to be on there. If you're on there promoting your brand, that's one thing. You going back and forth with fans and replying to them, I just don't know how that's productive and how that helps you be a better football player. It seems like it's only a negative because it is 80% of the people telling you that you suck. So you don't got to be on there. So I don't really have any problem with him deleting his social media. I wouldn't tell you to get back on social media. You're going to make $150 million in your life. Live your life. Have somebody else run your social media account. That's what I would tell you. Limit your comments on Instagram and get off Twitter would be my advice. I don't have any problem with Chris Jones if that's what he decided to do. None at all. Coming up on the other side, Rob, let's talk about the special teams a little bit because, I mean, I would say in every phase, their team got let down by something. On offense, even though that was one of their better offensive games, when you give up a pick six and you take 7 points off the board and now it becomes 7 from the other side, your offense made a critical mistake. The defense at the end of the game and special teams also made some critical mistakes. We talked about Harrison Butker yesterday. He was not the only person that let them down in the special teams department. We'll get to that next. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with CDOT. Tune in as Nate Taylor of ESPN joins the show in studio every Friday at 4 on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan. The Drive, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next-day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Sports fans, listen up. 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer, and bladder leaks can be a side effect. That's why Depend is teaming up with the Prostate Cancer Foundation to encourage screening. Because health is a long game, and it's yours to win. Now here's the cool part. Through November, Depend is contributing up to $300,000 to prostate cancer research by donating 25 cents for every purchase of Depend shields, guards, and Real Fit products. Void in Mississippi. Learn more at Depend.com.
Hi, this is Toby Tobin along with Jason Goodenkoff from Lewisburg Ford in Lewisburg, Kansas. Hi, Jason.
Hello, Toby.
Let's talk about the buying experience at Lewisburg Ford.
It's the best anywhere. Just ask all our customers, Toby. It is hands down the best experience you can have buying a new car. We have the no-hassle Toby Tobin price that we've had for over 45 years now. Nobody else can say that. We've been saving Kansas City thousands and thousands of dollars for a lot of years.
I have been buying Ford cars and trucks from Lewisburg Ford for over 30 years. And I know personally this is the best place to buy a Ford car or truck. Great prices, but there's a whole lot more than that.
It doesn't just stop at price, Toby. No. There's other factors to this equation, and it's trade-in allowance, financing, and the experience of how knowledgeable the people are that you're dealing with. And we surpass everybody in all those areas. We always have. We always will. That's why calling us is important.
Do you have that new pickup?
Absolutely. And it's dynamite.
Okay. Lewisburg Ford is your best place to buy a Ford car or truck. What's your toll-free number?
816-444-2300.
Lewisburg Ford or lewisburgford.com.
DQ presents the sound of your next meal at DQ. It's the sound of savoring a signature stack burger, loving a chicken strip basket, or digging into everyday value with the $7 meal deal. Wait, where is the sound? Am I missing something? Oh, it's quiet because they're too busy enjoying their DQ food. Makes sense. So delicious and so peaceful. Grab your favorite from the DQ food menu today at participating U.S. locations. Only at DQ. Happy tastes good.
When your name's on the paint job, your primer better hold up. Painters trust Kills primers for serious adhesion, stain blocking, and a finish that lasts. Now, the full Kills lineup is available exclusively at the Home Depot. Need it fast? Get same-day or next-day delivery, or order online and pick it up in-store. Kills primers, pro results, faster. The Home Depot. If you're a pro, you know.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next-day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Sports fans, listen up. 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer, and bladder leaks can be a side effect. That's why Depend is teaming up with the Prostate Cancer Foundation to encourage screening. Because health is a long game, and it's yours to win. Now here's the cool part. Through November, Depend is contributing up to $300,000 to prostate cancer research by donating 25 cents for every purchase of Depend shields, guards, and Real Fit products. Void in Mississippi. Learn more at Depend.com.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
This one brought to you by Kansas City Wind Supply Group Vendor Showcase. It is Thursday, October 23rd at J. Rieger and Company Distillery. Now we've got a crash, and that is downtown 9 Highway southbound on the ramp to 70 westbound. It's going to be closed for the next few minutes while they upload everybody up to the record, but closed downtown and slow. 9 Highway southbound on the ramp to 70 westbound. Discover the latest HVAC plumbing and trade solutions with companies like Milwaukee and Champion and 20 plus other vendors at the KC Wind Supply Group Vendor Showcase Thursday, October 23rd, 3 to 6 at J. Rieger and Company Distillery. Enjoy complimentary food, drinks, tours, prizes, and networking. See you there.
You're listening to The Drive with Carrington Harrison on 96.5 The Fan and the Odyssey app.
We were talking about Chris Jones and him deleting his social media. We'll move on from this in a bit, but I just want to reply to the text. So someone sent in a text earlier that said, deleting your social media is such a weak move. I don't really have a problem with it. Now, again, I'm not saying that my job is like their job, but if there's one part of their job that I can relate to, it's people tweeting and talking to you on social media. I just don't have an issue with it. The gentleman replies and says, the act itself is acknowledging that you're bothered. Give me the guy who can just put his head down and deal with it despite the noise. What I'm telling you is I think everybody is like this. I just think he did it in a much more public way. I mean, I know Nick Wright pretty well. I think you guys know this. Nick does not read his mentions. He does not read them, does not go on there. I think everybody kind of deals with this in a very different way if you are in this field and you live in a job that's very, very public. Again, I'm not trying to make it seem like it, but I think this is one of those things that is very hard for people to understand if you're not in it. Because for the average person, when you go on the internet, people just aren't talking about you. Not to say you're not important, but random people are not talking about you. You are not a radio topic. You are not a form of conversation on social media. So I can completely understand. And if you have 500 followers, that's one thing. Chris Jones has 300,000 followers. 300,000. So I can only imagine the amount of tweets and direct messages and things that you get. I think everybody that is in this field just needs a break. At least once a month, I just have I'm not going to use my phone this weekend. I'm just going to live my life regular. I don't need to take any pictures. I don't need to text. I don't need to tweet. Like, I'll know what's going on, but I don't need to be on there in that way. I think that's a very normal way of feeling. So there's certainly a lot of things I think to be critical of when it comes to Chris Jones. I don't think just determining for however long it is, a week, 2 weeks, whatever it is, hey, I'm spending too much time on there And I just don't want it. I try to live my life through this very, very simple lens. And I try to tell other people who are in this field the same exact thing. I try not to spend my life worried about people who only exist when I'm on the phone. If I don't know you in real life and I can't talk to you, I can't text you, I don't have your number, I can't FaceTime you, I can't go over there, like we can't spend one-on-one time, and the only time that we talk is on Twitter or Instagram, I can't let you have that much control over my life. So if that means that I need to just delete the app, if I need to not be on here for a period of time, that's perfectly fine. That's what I got to do. So if that's what Chris Jones feels like he needs to do, hey, I don't need to be on here right now. I got personal stuff going on. I got professional stuff going on. Maybe I shouldn't spend my time on Twitter. That is just an inherently negative place. I don't got any issues with Chris Jones doing that. Not at all. Coming up at the top of the hour, I got a question to ask you guys regarding the Chiefs. We'll get to that coming up in just a bit. I understand problems with the offense at times. I think the easiest thing for us to do as fans, and we all do it, is criticize play calling. This is one of those things, if you want my hot take soapbox issue, I think because a lot of us grew up playing Madden, a lot of us think that we could call plays. You think about it. You've been an offensive coordinator now for 30 years. You were an offensive coordinator back in Tecmo. You've been playing Madden for this whole time, college football. You feel like you could call plays. We all feel that way. Man, give me that playbook. Man, yes, we all feel like we could do it. I'm assuming it's a lot harder than that. So I think there is a certain measure of criticism that comes with being the offensive coordinator. Nobody thinks their team is good at calling plays because it's an easy thing to criticize. A lot of the criticism that has been directed towards Matt Nagy, which I think is deserved at times, some of the criticism that's been directed towards Andy Reid, which also is deserved at times, we don't have nearly that amount of smoke for their special teams coach. Their special teams gets an F, in my opinion, for Monday night. It's not the reason they lost. It's one of the reasons they lost. They had 4 straight kickoffs in which they had a penalty. Their kicker kicked the ball out of bounds on the final kick of the game. Their special teams did not help them in any capacity. If you look at football as 3 phases, and even if you think that this other phase is, 10, 20%, I don't want to make it seem like it's 33, 33, 33, that it's as equal as offense and defense, but it's certainly a portion of the game. Whatever percentage that you think special teams is, the Chiefs got a 0 in that department. And again, they are not good enough to overcome all of these things. And it's too competitive. There's too much parity in all of this. It's already a coin flip, 51-49 kind of game. But if you're going to commit 14 penalties, if you're going to pretty routinely, when you have a big kick return, when Bashard Smith gets to the 41-yard line, it's holding. So now that drive starts at the 14-yard line as opposed to the 41-yard line. They do that routinely. So I understand the frustration at Matt Nagy, and there should be frustration. I get it when it comes to Andy Reid. Dave Toub needs to stand in some of that this week because he did not have their special teams at a place where he could help them go on the road and win a game. Their special teams failed them on Monday night. He needs to stand in some of that criticism too.
I feel like now tomorrow the coordinators talk to the media, and tomorrow will be interesting because I think Steve Spagnuolo is going to have some tough questions to answer about why Noel Williams was watching the game like most fans were, just with a really good seat. And Dave Toub's going to have some difficult questions to your point because we have been hard on Butker. Me, you, text line, the fans. He has been not as good as he has been in years past. But it wasn't just Butker on Monday night that let the Chiefs down. Jack Cochran's name should never come up on this show. Like, no disrespect to Jack Cochran. I'm sure he's a fine individual. He should either
I don't even think you got to say no disrespect. Jack Cochran is not a player that we should ever be talking about. We should never have a topic centered around. If Jay Cochran's name comes up, it is only 2 extremes. Either you played exceptionally well, you forced 2 fumbles, or you did what you did on Sunday where you had 3 penalties in the game. Like, the margin of error is just so come on now. You can't do that. Hey, no, not at all.
So, and the special teams have kind of been bad a little bit throughout the season. Like, so I know they're going to talk tomorrow. I know they're going to coach speak tomorrow, but everyone had a hand in the loss on Monday night. Everyone's had a hand in the problems they've had this season. Like, the same way that the Chiefs tell us, hey, we're all in this together, we all got to fix it together. Yeah, it is everyone. It's got to be Dave Toub getting his group to tighten up. Steve Spagnuolo needs to be airtight with his group. Andy Reid in the offense and Matt Nagy needs to look like Monday night more often than it looks like Sunday night against the Giants. Like, it's going to take a little bit of everyone. And to your three phases point, you're right. It's not 33, 33, 33. But if it's
something.
If the one side is just a nothing burger, you are in big trouble, because what's the saying? It's the things in the regular season that get you beat in the postseason. Right now, I can identify them. It's special teams. That's what will get the Chiefs beat.
Yeah, for sure. I want to read this text really quickly, and we can put the social media conversation to bed. Someone just texted in, "See, I hear what you're saying about social media, but didn't you say that players need to be held accountable, though?" Yeah, absolutely. I just don't think that accountability is coming from Chiefs fan 73 on Twitter. I just wouldn't call that accountability. I don't think that's what it is. I think it's criticism. I think most of the time it's negativity. I don't think that's what accountability is. I think we know what accountability is. I just don't think you thumbing through your mentions, I don't think that's accountability. Like, there's some things that I think you guys hold me accountable for. Like, there is a measure of research that needs to be done, so I'm not here talking out of my arse. Sometimes it's hey, that fact you said is wrong. I would say that's accountability. I read the text line. That ain't all it is. And that's fine. Like, that's the life that I signed up for. But I think we got to be real in you snapping at players and firing at players. What is, I would say, productive and part of the game, or you cross the line, and I could understand why a player in their free time you shouldn't sit here at your locker reading this. And we know they read it. It's impossible. It is impossible to tell me that there's a group of people who are always talking about you and you 100% of the time turn it off. I just don't think that's human nature. So if you feel like, hey, I got to get off Twitter to accomplish that, then I got no problem with you. This is the question that I want to ask you guys heading into the 4 o'clock hour. I'm kind of in a fill in the blank mood. We did one yesterday. I've got another one. I want you to fill in the blank. I want you to fill in the Chiefs are a blank team. I told Rob to do this. I told Rob to not tell me his answer. I'll give you my answer. We'll hear it in real time. The Chiefs are a blank team. I'm curious what you guys think. We'll do that next. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Hit a stall near Blue Springs, 470 southbound, just past 40 Highway. The right lane is blocked. And a wreck near Shawnee, 435 southbound at Holiday Drive. 2 right lanes are blocked there. From the Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, Electric Traffic Center on Val, 96.5 The Fan.
Arvest Bank believes in the power of serving others. That's why we're committed to supporting those who serve our communities. We believe that all communities deserve a financial partner who cares. Arvest. We believe.
It's time to build that dream deck over at All Weather Decks. Schedule a free estimate today at 913-206-1974 or online at allweatherdecks.net. All Weather Decks, the right deck at the right price.
BetMGM is inviting you to charge the field this pro football season. Existing BetMGM customers can have a ball without having to sweat. Log into your account to get a pro football no sweat token. Apply the token to your next pro football bet. If you lose with the token attached, you'll get your stake back in bonus bets. That's right. With a no sweat token, you get your stake back in bonus bets if you don't win. There's nothing like a fresh set of downs. And that's just what BetMGM is offering if you don't win with a no-sweat token. Find your favorite matchup and be part of the action. Make this pro football season one for the ages. Make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards are non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
The technicians you can trust with your house keys. Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
This busy season, enjoy home comfort without the stress with fast online booking, reminders, and real-time updates. Save up to $2,000 with federal tax rebates with a new HVAC system. Schedule today at AnthonyPHCE.com.
Trust, price, and ease of transaction. That's our philosophy at GiveMeTheVin.com. We love to buy cars. Fat ones, skinny ones, curvy ones, fast ones, slow ones, round ones, and square ones. Yes, square body Chevys. We buy them at GiveMeTheVin.com. Go to GiveMeTheVin.com right now, put yours in, and get a quote. We'd love to buy it. GiveMeTheVin.com, America's best car buyer.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Looking for the ultimate spot to watch Sunday football? It's all happening at Brew Brothers inside Harris Casino, Kansas City. With NFL Sunday Ticket, you'll catch every game, every Sunday. So no matter who you root for, your team is always on. Add in ice-cold drinks, mouth-watering food, and a crowd that loves football just like you. And you've got the perfect game day atmosphere. Every snap, every score, every Sunday. Brew Brothers is football headquarters. Be there this weekend at Harris's Kansas City. 21 or older to gamble. Know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The wait is finally over. Football season is here, and FanDuel is getting you ready for kickoff with an offer that you don't want to miss. New customers, you can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick a bet, any bet. Bet $5, and if it wins, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use all across the app. Use it how you want. Build your favorite parlays, bet player props, ride the live lines, whatever your style is. Remember, FanDuel has you covered. Be sure to check out FanDuel.com/KFNZ. Use that promo code to download the FanDuel app today and get started. FanDuel is an official sportsbook partner of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issue is non-withdrawable bonus bets which expire 7 days after free. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Can help us your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700. Visit ksgamblinghelp.com.
It's football season, and I can't wait for the games. And now I have even more reason to cheer on the Chiefs. I just head to Hy-Vee the day after any game and score savings at the pump with my Hy-Vee Perks card. Win or lose, I earn a fuel saver discount equal to the Chiefs score based on the amount I spend. If the Chiefs score 35 points, I save 35 cents per gallon when I spend $35 on groceries. The more we score, the more I save only at Hy-Vee. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Flu season is here. Get your flu shot today at your local Hy-Vee pharmacy. It's easy, convenient, and no appointment is necessary. Plus, when you get your flu shot at Hy-Vee, earn a 20-cent fuel saver. That's right, a 20-cent fuel saver. Get your flu shot when it's convenient for you. Schedule online or just stop by your Hy-Vee pharmacy. No appointment necessary. Help your family stay healthy. Get your flu shot and get a 20-cent fuel saver only at Hy-Vee. See store for details. Some restrictions apply.
Good morning, Casey's Country. Darn good coffee's now 49 cents when you buy any breakfast sandwich or burrito. Some are calling it a great deal. I call it sensational. I'm so sorry. Bad joke. Good deal, though. It's not crazy. It's Casey's. See store for details.
This report is brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts, your professional parts people.
Get 5 quarts of Valvoline Full Synthetic Motor Oil, a Wix filter, and a $15 gift card after rebate at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hey, it's Creed Humphrey. The Chiefs Radio Network pregame show starts 3 hours before kickoff, right here on your home for Chiefs football, 96.5 The Fan.
KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2, Kansas City, an Odyssey Sports Station.
Can I call a quick audible, and I promise you we'll get back to the Chiefs. I just saw this story come across my timeline. Per sources, Bill Belichick has discussed possible buyout options with North Carolina. Belichick has signaled a willingness to trigger his own $1 million buyout if he can find a soft landing with another team or somewhere in media. I don't want to take too much time on this, but Bill, please let me tell you what you should do. Because I fear that you are a movie franchise that has just gone on for too long. And we've all seen movies like that. They probably should have stopped making Fast and the Furious movies after Paul Walker died. That was the end of the series. It was a perfect way to end the series. If you've seen the last movie that Paul Walker is in, when they play See You Again and he drives off, it's the perfect ending, and they kept making movies. And I get it. They're printing money. Now they're talking about they might not even be able to make the last one because they're so over budget. It probably just should have ended. Bill Belichick, when he was the coach of the New England Patriots, he probably should have just retired. But I get it. Bill wanted to prove to us that he could do it without Tom, and they made the playoffs that one year, and you're thinking, okay, and then it failed miserably. And Bill had a great job with NFL Network. I really think that Bill is good at the media thing when he shows his personality. But you let your ego, the NFL didn't want you. You want to try to be the all-time winningest coach. Nobody wanted you, and now you want to stick it to the New England Patriots. It is ironic to me that the one coach that for the longest time tried to preach about distractions, you know who the distraction is? It's you. The call is coming from inside the house. You're the problem. Bill, I'm going to give you some. This is free career advice. And I never thought I would be in this position that I would be giving Bill Belichick career advice. Somebody who has been so successful at their career. Bill, that's what you should do. Call Bill Simmons and just go do a podcast on The Ringer. You know that Bill, big devoted Red Sox fan, big devoted Boston fan, Patriots fan, will pay you what you think is fair for a podcast, and just go live the rest of your life. You got you a pretty little girl on your arms. Just sit there and watch all the Love Island and make all the TikToks and live the rest of your life. It can't be fun right now to be the head coach in North Carolina. We're finding out more and more stories. Parents don't seem to like it. You're getting your teeth kicked in on a night-in, night-out basis, and no one seems to be having fun right now. You guys think that Bill's doing this for 2-3 more seasons? Or is Bill now looking for an escape plan? Bill, I'm telling you, call Bill Simmons and go work at The Ringer. Or if that doesn't work, call Colin Cowherd and go work for The Volume. They're always adding new podcasts. Go do a podcast with Colin Cowherd and John Middlecoff. That's what you need to do. And then why don't you be a regular on one of these shows, pop up on First Take once a week, make a good amount of money, and just live the rest of your life. You think Bill Belichick is doing in-home visits? Is Bill Belichick going to a high school game? Is Bill Belichick getting into a bidding war for a 19-year-old wide receiver in the transfer portal? Bill, stop it. This is nonsense. I'm trying to help you.
Why did Carolina think this was going to work?
Because it's Bill Belichick.
Yeah, but Bill, like, I understand that pro football and college football are the same sport. I get it. What it takes to be a great program head coach in college and what it takes to be a great head coach in the NFL are not one for one. Do you know what you don't deal with in the NFL? You don't deal with parents calling you and being like, why is my kid not playing? That's not a thing in the NFL. Patrick Mahomes' parents have never called Andy and been like, I don't like the play calling. That happens in college. You know what you have to do in the pros? You have to glad hand one person. You have to glad hand the owner. Do you know what to do in college? There could be 6 or 7 millionaires. You got to schmooze. The jobs are different. And when he got hired, I feel like me and you thought this isn't going to work. I didn't think it was going to fail to this level where it's 4 games in and holy shnikes, it's buyout time as long as I can find a cushy job. But this has been an unmitigated disaster for the Tar Heels, and I don't know why they went down this road. It seems like the Tar Heels fired Mac Brown, said he was too old, and then Jordan Hudson came into our lives, and they hired an older, less experienced college coach in Bill Belichick.
Someone just sent in, he's got enough money, he doesn't need to work. His girlfriend seemed like she likes things. So I would just keep a little going around money. Hey, babe, you and your girls want to go on a brunch? It's on me. Here's a little cash. You know what I mean? Hey, you want the new Louis Vuittons that just came out? I got them for you. You want the new red bottoms? I got them for you. Why don't you take a little bit of this NFL Network money, a little bit of this First Take money? Bill, it's over. And now, more so than ever, there's a space for people like Bill Belichick. Every time I get on TikTok, John Gruden is on there. We know he has a good personality. We saw him with the quarterback camps. You're talking to quarterbacks. You're breaking down plays. Bill, set up a TikTok. Go do a podcast. That's all you got to do. This coaching thing, it's over. It's over. We didn't need Rush Hour 3. Rush Hour 1 and 2 were phenomenal. We didn't need Rush Hour 3. Rob, what's your movie franchise that you know what? We just didn't need those. The Hangover. We only needed 1. We didn't need 2 or 3. It was over. Bill, we didn't need this. Just sit down. Get out the game. Go do a podcast.
Go back to being on McAfee show. He was good on McAfee show.
100%. 100%. C-Dot, his girlfriend wasn't born when the Patriots won their first Super Bowl. Dude's a creep. You know what? I don't think Bill is a creep. You know what I think? I think Laszlo was the first one I ever heard say this. Horny is undefeated. It's undefeated. It's undefeated. And I get it. If you're Bill and you've made a lot of great money in your life and you are a little bit lonely right now, you broke up with your old girlfriend, maybe the hours got too demanding, whatever reason you and the person you were with during all those years with the Patriots, y'all split up and now you're looking for somebody to spend your time with, and I got all the money in the world, I'm going to the store and I'm getting me a nice little 20-something-year-old too. And that's what Bill did. So I don't think Bill's a creep. I really don't think he's a creep. I think he's I think he's a rich old man is what I think he is. And we've seen, if there's one, I would say, pretty consistent thing in history, it is rich old men going out and getting them a young thing to play with. And that's what I think Bill did. I'm not here to judge Bill's life. You're a consenting adult. She's a consenting adult. Hey, have at it, man. Have fun. I'm just telling you that this coaching thing, it's no longer for you. It's no longer for you. It's over. It's done.
I will say, not to take a victory lap. Do you remember when he and Michael Lombardi called North Carolina the 33rd NFL team? Woof. That's the thing they said. We're going to turn North Carolina into the 33rd pro team. They failed.
That might be the 33rd team in the ACC. They're terrible.
They're looking up at Wake Forest.
No, you don't ever want to be in that position. You don't never want to be in that position. You got Wake Forest looking down at you being, ooh, that's not a place you want to be. Not a good place.
Imagine being a Carolina fan and the Pitt Panthers were like, ooh, that sounds like a bad program to cheer for.
Yeah, just Bill. I'm just telling you, man. I'm trying to tell you. Please call Bill Simmons. He'll save you from this. All right, we'll get back to the Chiefs on the other side. You guys have been texting in 913-586-7965. I asked Rob this question earlier. The Chiefs are a fill-in-the-blank team. Chiefs are a blank team. How would you fill it in? I'll give you my answer. Rob will give you his answer. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. Tune in Mondays at 4 to hear the play-by-play voice of the Chiefs, Mitch Holtis, on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan.
When your team's best players have all been traded and the latest pick is overrated, just raise a glass with a friend or two and tell them more, tell them more, tell them more do. May your team be great and your picks be true, and if it falls apart, you'll know what to do. Just raise a glass with a fan or two and tell them more, tell them more, tell them more do. It's a crazy world, so what do? You tell them more, tell them more, tell them more do. Hey!
Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, imported by William Grant.
Schedule your home improvement project while the weather is still nice with Powell Exteriors KC. They offer easy financing, pay no interest until 2027, a 10-year workmanship warranty, and their extended summer sale. PowellExteriorsKC.com. The power of KC is Powell Exteriors KC.
Danon Hughes here. I've seen a lot of stat lines in my playing days, but these numbers, they caught my attention. Flight by Yingling. 2.6 carbs, 95 calories, and all the crisp, refreshing flavor you want in a light beer. It's brewed by the oldest brewery in America, so you know it's got some serious history behind it. If you're into stats and taste, you're going to love this beer. Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer and the official beer of Danon Hughes. DG Yingling & Son, Pottsville, Pennsylvania.
Hey, Mr. C, it's me. Well, I just picked up the ring. I actually went to Hellsberg. Thanks for that recommendation. Kate's gonna love that hers is from the same jeweler you got Mrs. C's ring from. They were so helpful throughout the whole process. They even knew your family by name, and the ring looks great. Anyways, I just couldn't wait to let you guys know. Call me back and wish me luck.
Hellsberg, designed with care and craft since 1915. Shop in store or at hellsberg.com.
Hey, Zach, are you smiling at my gorgeous canyon view?
No, Donald. I'm smiling because I've got something I want to tell the whole world.
Well, do it. Shout it out.
T-Mobile's got home internet.
Whoa, I love that echo. T-Mobile's got home internet.
How much is it?
Look at that, Zach. We got the neighbors' attention.
Just $35 a month. And you love a great deal, Denise.
Plus, they've got a 5-year price guarantee. That's 5 whole trips around the sun.
I'm switching. Me too.
Yes, T-Mobile home internet for the neighborhood.
Donald, you still haven't returned my weed whacker.
Carl, don't you embarrass me like this, please.
What's everyone yelling about?
T-Mobile's got home internet.
And Donald's got my weed whacker.
Yes, T-Mobile's got home internet. Just $35 a month with auto pay and any voice line. And it's guaranteed for 5 years.
Beautiful yodeling, Carl.
Taxes and fees apply. See T-Mobile.com/ISP for details and exclusions.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
From pads and rotors to shocks and struts, coming to a full stop should never mean your business does too. At Napa, we are the pros that know brakes and suspension better than anyone. So when others are grinding their gears, our premium parts and exceptional service deliver results. Whether you're operating a local shop or managing a national fleet, Napa has exactly what you need, when and where you need it. Get the brake and suspension parts you're looking for right now at Napa.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025, Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 and monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Chiefs coverage brought to you by Community America Credit Union. Member owned, open to all. Community America Credit Union. Invested in you. Cody and Gold are broadcasting live this Friday from Community America Credit Union's Red Friday Tailgate in Raymore. Located at 1400 West Foxwood Drive. Meet the Chiefs cheerleaders and Casey Wolf. Grab Chiefs gear and win tickets to an upcoming Chiefs game. This Friday, only at Community America Credit Union in Raymore.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Still working a crash, 29 northbound on the ramp to Northwest 56th. Big backups in the area that crashed in the right lane. You've got a stall, 35 northbound on the ramp to 670 eastbound. 2 left lanes are blocked there. From the Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, Electric Traffic Center on Bound 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Hey, it's Chris Jones from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome back to The Drive with C-Dot on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
I promise you we'll get to the Chiefs. I have a 30-second question to ask. Rob, is it more embarrassing when you fall up or down the stairs?
Ooh, up. Up's more embarrassing.
Okay. I just was curious what you thought.
Down's probably more painful, but up's more embarrassing.
Okay. I just want to know. 913-586-7965. When's the last time you fell up or down the stairs? I did it earlier today.
I say it's been a while for me.
I fell up the stairs as I was coming into work today.
It's not
and
great.
Then I did the look around, make sure nobody was looking. It might be on the camera at work. They might have me on there.
Was it a full tumble, like a slip, and you caught yourself? You looked around.
No, what happened was You know how, like, you're, like, running up the stairs, and, yeah, I, like, tripped up the stairs, and I fell, and I, like, tried to brace my fall. It didn't end up good, but nobody was around. Nobody saw it. So I was just wondering, what's worse? Is it to fall up or down the stairs?
I think pure embarrassment up.
Okay. I just was wondering.
Because down, people are like, are you okay? And there's a general care for your health. Up, people are like, what's going on?
Yeah, normally if you fall up the stairs, like you did something.
Mm-hmm.
Like down, anything could have happened. It could be anything. When you fall up the stairs, it ain't good. It ain't good in the least bit. All right, so this is what we're going to do. Let's get back focused. Let's get back to the Chiefs. I've been in a fill-in-the-blank mood. The Chiefs are a blank team. How would you fill in the blank? The Chiefs are a blank team. We'll go through some of you guys' answers here coming up in a bit. So, Rob, I asked you this question earlier, and I said, don't tell me. I don't want to hear the answer. How would you fill in the blank right now for the Chiefs? The Chiefs are a blank team.
Fragmented. The Chiefs are a fragmented team. I think maybe for the first time in the Patrick Mahomes era, we are starting to see little cracks in the foundation. You don't usually see Andy Reid and Travis Kelce can do a little chest bump. You don't usually see Travis Kelce screaming at the right tackle. You don't see Drew Tranquill and Chris Jones having the issues they had in week 1. You don't usually see effort issues with the Chiefs. Like, the Chiefs, it's not like they've been 48-0 over the last 3 seasons, but it's usually been all for one for all. We're connected. We are moving forward as a group. We're a team. We're one collective unit. I watched that Kingdom show on ESPN, and one thing that really stood out to me is they were a really strong group, connected, everyone, team type of energy. It feels like this year you're starting to see a little losing, and there are some cracks in that. So I think the Chiefs are a fragmented team. Not that it can't be corrected, not that you can't do some repairs, smooth that foundation up, and you're back to connected and all for one for all type of energy. But more so, we're seeing it on Sunday. It's bubbling up a little bit. The Chiefs appear to be a fragmented team.
The phrase that I would use is, it feels like we are in waiting. That's how I would describe it. The Chiefs are an in-waiting team. I feel like every conversation that we have had, and maybe that's my fault, your fault, the media's fault, whoever's fault that you think it is, it feels like every conversation that we have had comes with an asterisk. Well, they don't have Rashee Rice back. That we are almost there. Rashee Rice will be eligible to practice 1 week from today. And where I think some of the criticism has been fair with the Chiefs is, well, the Chiefs don't have their number one offensive skill position player. Their best running back, wide receiver, tight end, their best skill position player has been out for quite some time. They are about to get that player back. We're talking about a 25-year-old. I don't think he's maybe a legit number one receiver. Like, I don't think he's a Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, one of those guys. But we're talking about a very productive 1,000-yard wide receiver. I would say that's bigger than any move that they could possibly make when it comes to the trade deadline. Think of who they added last year around this time. This is when they added DeAndre Hopkins. We're talking about a guy who's on the tail end of his career, a guy who we think has, 1, maybe 2 more seasons left in the league. We're talking about a guy who has potentially a decade left in the National Football League. So I feel like on the positive side, if you have been sort of waiting for Rashee Rice to get here, that is almost over. We are almost there. And I think at least some of our conversations about the Chiefs is going to change. But I also think, and maybe this is the negative side of the conversation, the other side of the coin is, I do think we have painted Rashee Rice like he is going to come back and solve all of their problems. On offense, now it's supposed to fix the defense, special teams. Like, we have kind of painted it like you can't evaluate anything that the Chiefs have done because they don't have their complete roster and they're about to get it. So I think in some ways, it's just sort of in waiting. It's the point that I made off the top of the show. The Chiefs, I would say, are in a very, very unique place in terms of conversations about them, where there is a great portion of their conversations about who they've been in the past, about going to 3 straight Super Bowls, about being in the middle of a dynasty. And all of that certainly counts. You don't want to be the one that's premature when it comes to kind of kicking dirt on the Chiefs and ending this regime. Like, they are still very much in the middle of being a Super Bowl contending, winning type team. The other parts of the conversation feel like they are to the in waiting part. Well, wait till this team gets Rashee Rice back. Wait till they get all their receivers healthy. Wait till they get there, that they're in this very weird part of, well, what do we do about now? They're not having Rashee Rice for the game coming up on Sunday against the Lions, and you're talking about potentially playing the best team in the league. That's just the best way I can describe them right now. They just feel like a team right now that is in waiting. They don't have their complete offense. We also know that their defense usually starts to trend up and they start playing much better football in the second half of the season. So it kind of feels like we are just all waiting until they play Buffalo. They play Buffalo coming up in 3 weeks. And after they play Buffalo, I would say, again, things really start to ratchet back up for the Kansas City Chiefs. Not that these games aren't important. They certainly are. But the same way that we looked at the early portion of the season, as you knew in those first 4 games, hey, you got some really important tests. It feels like they have that same thing coming up after Buffalo. Like, this is where they are. They play Buffalo on the road against Denver, home game against the Colts, and then they play on the road against the Cowboys on Thanksgiving. That's a really difficult stretch of games. Buffalo might be the best team in the AFC. Denver, I know you guys might not want to hear this, Denver might be the best team in the AFC West. Indianapolis is the best team in their division, and it's the Cowboys on Thanksgiving, and the Cowboys can score a lot of points. You can score a lot of points on the Cowboys, but the Cowboys are a team that are very prepared to get into a shootout. I feel like we're all just kind of waiting for that stretch because usually that's the stretch that the Chiefs normally turn the corner. They play the Bills on November 2nd. And that is November 2nd to Thanksgiving. Usually by that point, you feel like the Chiefs got a lot of the issues figured out. Special teams starts to turn the corner. The defense starts to turn the corner. They've kind of figured out on offense who they can trust and who they can't trust. I feel like we're waiting for that stretch. That's the term I would use.
I understand your point, and I don't disagree with it. I do think, though, fans to some extent have viewed Rashee Rice like he's some magic cure-all. I think some of the ails the Chiefs are feeling right now is more than just they don't have a number one wideout. Like, I know we talked about it a lot yesterday. It's not like having Rashee Rice makes Chris Jones' effort problems on the goal line yesterday go away. It's not like having Rashee Rice means that Drew Tranquill and Chris Jones aren't going to have, a little bit of beef down in Sao Paulo. It's not like Rashee Rice is going to just come in and everything's going to be so hunky-dory that you're not going to see any frustration from the team with Jawan Taylor anymore. Like, I think Rashee Rice coming back, and I understand your point about waiting, does make the offense better. And if the offense gets better, they should do more winning, and winning cures all. I understand the trickle-down effect. But some of the things you're seeing from the Chiefs are just uncharacteristic. Like, they were 2-3, and it was just football happened. Okay, cool, but it's 2-3, and there's some things you don't see very often this team. And I'm not talking X and O's or scheme. I'm talking like little sideline and on the field snafus. That's just not what we've seen. So I do think Rashee Rice makes a big difference, but I do worry that some fans view, hey, number 4 gets back on the field, magic cure-all, and the Chiefs are exactly what we thought they were on paper. I don't know it's that simple. Just snap your fingers, get Rashee out there, and all the problems are fixed.
I do think that football has happened in a little bit, at least when it comes to Kansas City. I really do believe this, and maybe this is like a coping mechanism. I've used the roulette analogy. I think the Chiefs were the guy that sat down at the roulette table and kept putting money on red, and red kept coming up, even though it is the same odds every time that you do it. You got about a 47% chance if you keep putting it on red. And I feel like the Chiefs got really, really hot during a stretch, which is partly because they are a very, very good team. And we can admit now, man, some real fluky stuff happened last year. Like, if you want to call the Trevor Lawrence play fluky, them and the way that they beat the Broncos was a little bit fluky last year. With the way that they beat the Raiders last year, a little bit fluky. So those things just, I think, happened a lot for them in a very good and positive sense. And now I just think the reverse is happening. Now, you're not doing anything different at the roulette table. You keep playing it on red, and now the table has just gone cold a little bit. It's just going to swing in the other direction. I think, at least for me, the biggest reason why I'm not going to panic yet when it comes to the Chiefs, even aside from Rashee Rice, I don't think the Chiefs are going winless in one-score games this year. Right now, they haven't won any of those. So those games that we would deem as 50-50 games, they haven't won any of those 50-50 games. I think they're going to win a couple of these 50-50 games. I'm guessing that Sunday, if the Chiefs win this game, it's a 50-50. You are not blowing out the Lions. They could win this game for sure. I would be very, very stunned if they did to the Lions what they did to the Baltimore Ravens. The Lions are not nearly as bad as that Ravens team. So it's going to be another close game heading into the final 5 minutes. And can you execute and can you make the play? I'm guessing that whether it's the Raiders game or the Commanders game, they'll probably also find themselves in a very similar situation. That's just how the league is. You play 55, 60% of your games this way. I just think right now the Chiefs are in a little bit of a cold streak, a little bit of a losing streak when it comes to that. But ultimately, things always swing back in the other direction. And last year, where you went 11-0 in these scenarios, this year you go 6-5 in those scenarios. You go 7-4 in those scenarios. So you end up winning 11 or 12 games where last year you won 15, but just some of your luck just eventually ran out. And I feel like at least a little bit of that has happened with the Chiefs.
What you're describing is regression to the mean. And we had a lot of conversations about this in the offseason. And you were part of this. The text line was part of this. Every national media type, and they were all deemed Chiefs haters, was screaming from the mountaintops, hey, you ain't going undefeated in one-score games anymore. That's not a sustainable model. Everyone threw out that Minnesota Case Keenum stat. Everyone had that stat. Now, I agree with you. The Chiefs aren't going winless this year, but are you sure they're going to jump back to more one-score wins than one-score losses? Because regression to the mean is currently happening to the team.
For sure.
So if last year you went 10-0, this year started 0-3, if you go 3-7 in those one-score games, that's the difference between hosting an AFC title game and being out in the wild card round, which that's just regression to the mean, which is a fine mathematical thing, but not fine by fans as a end of season, we look back at it type of deal.
I guess maybe what I would say is, and I don't think we're that far off, if the Chiefs go 3-7 in one-score games, they ain't making the playoffs this year. In that analogy, if you play 10 of those games and you lose them, and that's just only the one-score games, that's not counting, you could lose by 14 points to the Lions, you get beat by 10 points to the line, that's not a playoff team. I still look at them as a team that I expect to win their division and a team that's going to make very serious noise once we get to the postseason. So I don't think that they're getting to the 3-7 part. I think this team probably ends up 6-4 in those close 50-50 kind of games. That inevitably, when they get their offense back.
I apologize for interrupting. You have them going 6-1 in the next one-score games, or is it 6-4 starting from now when they go the next 10 one-score games? Because if we're using last year's 10 one-score games metric as our barometer, you have them at 0-3 right now. You have them from here going 6-1 in those games. Because I'd also tell you the math doesn't say that is happening this season.
But I guess maybe my point is, if you still have the Chiefs accomplishing their goals, that's what they're going to have to do. If you are one of the people, maybe you're not, it's perfectly fine. But if you still think this is the team that's winning the AFC West, you're not 3-7 in one-score games. If you think this is the 3 seed in the AFC or 2 seed or wherever you think they eventually land, you cannot be that bad in one-score games. So I still look at them as being a team that I think can win 11 or 12 games. You and I talked about how I thought they were going to be 5-3 when they headed into the game against Buffalo. They are still very much on line to be that team. I told you, I thought they would either lose to Jacksonville or Detroit. I just didn't think this team was consistent enough to win both of those games. You get back Rashee Rice, you got 2 home games. You got the Raiders at home, you got Washington at home, and then it's go time from there. I would say at that point, there are no more excuses. We just went through it. Buffalo, Denver, Indianapolis, on the road against Dallas. I don't want to hear any more about suspensions, injuries, any of those things. We have seen 2 months of Chiefs football. At that point, you were starting to establish you are what you are at that point. And I do think that their defense is going to turn the corner and be a little bit more consistent than what I think we've seen so far. And I think you have to be encouraged by what you've seen from their offense the last couple of weeks. And you also have to be encouraged by the fact that they get their best offensive player back coming up in exactly 1 week. So adding another explosive player to what you've been able to do the last couple of weeks, I don't think they're that far off from being that team. I think it's been a handful of plays. I think it's been a 3rd and 14 in which you didn't get off the field. It's been a missed interception. It's been a bobble ball here. I don't think they're that far off, but I think maybe to your point, or at least the point I think you're making is, there's 15 teams in the league that also find themselves in that exact same place. We could play this game for everybody. I could play it for the Eagles. I could play it for the Broncos. I could play it for the Chargers. There are 10 to 12 teams that find themselves in this category of uncertainty right now. And for the first time in a while, I would say the Chiefs are firmly in the middle of that uncertain place right now.
100%. And you're right. I do believe the Chiefs, their offense, I think we're going to continue to have conversations throughout the course of the season. Their D-line is just woof. Their D-line's a problem. I do think, though, their offense is showing a little bit of what we thought they could be. Patrick Mahomes starting to look like, hey, the person a lot of people bet on to be a MVP type of player in 2025. Like, the offense is starting to roar to life. So I will give people credit for, hey, it's just no Worthy, no Rice. It's starting to look like it could be those things. My point is just, while that all looks better on the football side, man, sometimes it's all about the way the ball bounces. Like, I don't want to call wins in the NFL lucky or fluky. That's a poor term. But sometimes just things beyond your control happen and you win or lose a game. And it felt like all those things went the Chiefs' way every single time last year. And right now, they are not catching those breaks. They will over the course of the season. No one goes from 10-0 and 0 for 10 to end up in 10-10 and one-score games. That's not how it works. It will take time to even out. But I think in the meantime, while they are trying to figure out their offense before Rashee Rice, you are seeing they find themselves in more close games, and the weird bounces of the ball are affecting them more. And that's why I said, circling back to this conversation, fragmented, because it seems like this team is not responding well to adversity, which is a larger concern for me than just, hey, the offense is starting to turn the corner. There is a, hey, this team hasn't faced adversity in a while, and it doesn't look like they're dealing with it as well as you would like to see. They're not used to being 2-3, and it shows.
I can't get over this. There are like certain clips that we have that just, they get like stuck in my mind, and I just like can't shake them. This might be one of the new ones. This might be my new Mr. Unlimited.
But Baker Mayfield also did it without his number one wide receiver, Mike Evans. And you got to give credit to this rookie sensation wide receiver out of Ohio State, Emeka Egbuka, going for
I don't know why. It's so funny to me.
It's
really
nowhere
is.
Close. It's not even close to his name. Egbuka. What are you doing?
Like, I don't know how you see his name, and I don't know how you come up with that pronunciation of his name. Now, I'm not mad at Rob Gronkowski because I think there's all a name that we struggle with. I really do. I think there's all a name that we as broadcasters struggle with. I told you, the one for me is the quarterback of UCLA, the kid that used to be at Tennessee and then played himself. He wanted more money, and then he ended up that kid. I don't know his name. I know it's Nico, and that's all I know. I don't know anything else. I couldn't pronounce Tua for the longest time. I'll never forget. I went home and I just kept listening to the pronunciation of it, and I kept practicing and practicing until I felt like I got it right. So I think we all have these names. There's some names you just got to throw in the towel. This guy earlier said that Ochai Agbaji gave him the toughest time. He couldn't pronounce it. It took him years to figure out how to say it. Maybe that's what that name is for Gronk. Maybe this is his name that he just can't pronounce.
But Baker Mayfield also did it without his number one wide receiver, Mike Evans. And you got to give credit to this rookie sensation wide receiver out of Ohio State, Emeka Egbuka, going.
Yeah, that's it. That's just, everybody has that name.
Watching the rest of the Fox desk, all just
everybody looked at him like, oh. Everybody was so confused. He wasn't close. Like, he wasn't in the area. We got to start giving people credit more when they try. That's the thing now. Now when you try and you fail, people make fun of you. Like, no. He saw something. He wasn't 100% sure, but, I mean, he at least said his name. He said it with great conviction. He really thought that's how you pronounced it, which, I mean, okay, I respect that. You did your best. He then cleaned it up on the back half. When he did it again, he got a lot closer the second time than he did the first time.
I'm all for giving people credit for trying. I really am. He felt like he nailed it. I don't think he was giving it a college try. I think he felt like...
He didn't even stumble before he got there. A lot of times when you're unsure, you'll stumble a little bit before.
Like if we were talking about Tennessee and you said, Nico, I am a Leva?
I have no clue how to pronounce his last name.
But like if you...
Do you know how to pronounce his name?
I think it's I am a lava. I don't
sure?
know. That's as close as I'm
okay,
going to get.
I don't know.
If that's wrong, that's what
I don't know. I'm just saying I don't know. That could be his name. I don't know.
My point is, if we were talking about Tennessee in the playoffs last year and you came up on his name, you would either A, go Nico, or you would like slow down and try. Gronk was all in. Great job by the rookie. Emeka Egbubu. Like, what? The confidence is what shook me.
One of the things I learned in college, I would say this was actually the most important thing I learned in college, was communication is the ability to communicate your idea to a group of people in a way that they understand. So I really try to focus in on that. So when I say Nico and I say the quarterback at UCLA, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but that's not what's important. All I need to do is to get you to understand what I'm trying to say. You knew who he was talking about, even though the very talented wide receiver from Ohio State, even though you mispronounced it, you knew what he meant. You knew what he was trying to say. I think he did a great job communicating to the public. I learned something from Gronk right there.
You know what? Texan makes a good point. Do you know what name I still struggle with? The Royals manager. I believe it's Quatrero, but I just go with Q. When we talk about him on the air, he's Q. He's the guy from Bond. Just Q.
It's Matt Quatraro, right?
I think that's correct.
Yeah, I think it's Matt Quatraro.
I'm not confident. I just call him Q.
Okay. I mean,
I've heard Quatrero too, so I don't know which one's correct.
I mean, right now on the text, are you looking at the text line? Did you see the top? There are two different people with two completely different pronunciations of how you pronounce that man's name. I'm serious. Two completely different numbers. Two people tried to phonetically spell out his name and have two completely different pronunciations for how you do it. Just say you don't know. I don't know. I don't mind telling you guys I don't know.
How angry are you that they beat Penn State and he came back into your life? He had disappeared from the zeitgeist and now he's back.
Yeah, I'm just saying. People just, I don't know. People are like, oh, you're supposed to be in sports, you're supposed to know. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I don't have the answer. I don't know the answer to your question. I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to pronounce the quarterback for UCLA's name. I'm just going to tell you that off the rip. I have absolutely no clue. Coming up on the other side, I want to play the latest on the stadiums with Bob Fesco, and we'll get back to the Chiefs coming up at the top of the hour. We'll also play our conversation with Patrick Mahomes coming up in the 5 o'clock hour. Keep it right here. So drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
For over 30 years, we've been crafting more than jewelry. We've been crafting love stories. This is Gene at House of Diamonds, where our jewelry tells a story, your story. Unlike big-name designers mass-producing so-called exclusive designs by the thousands in overseas factories, we create one-of-a-kind masterpieces by hand right here in our shop. Our custom designs are just that, custom, designed and crafted with you, for you, and only you. Every custom ring, pendant, or bracelet from House of Diamonds is as unique as the person wearing it. And also, unlike those big-name designers, we'll never use lab diamonds to pad our profits. I've watched prices of lab diamonds drop 90% in the last 2 years, but I'm pretty sure those big designers are still charging the same or more for that big name and designer box. Real stories deserve real diamonds, and one-of-a-kind love deserves one-of-a-kind designer jewelry. Come to House of Diamonds for over 30 years on the southeast corner of College and Quivira.
eBay has reinvented vehicle buying. From click to curb, everything's covered. Ever try to buy a car online and end up in a parking lot with a stranger and some blind trust? That era is over. Now with Secure Purchase, eBay isn't just where you find your car. It's where you buy it, start to finish. Title, financing, registration, delivery, it's all built in. This is the modern way to buy your next ride on eBay. eBay. Things people love. Secure Purchase is powered by Caramel Dealer Services, LLC, an eBay subsidiary.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey friends, it's noisy out there. With information coming at us all day, every day, it's hard to know what to trust. And the world of wealth management is no exception. That's why UMB Private Wealth Management helps you tune out the noise and tune into what matters most. They'll create a financial plan based on your unique goals. So it's your voice that comes through loud and clear. Get financial clarity. Go to umb.com/private wealth to schedule an appointment. That's umb.com/private wealth.
What's up, everybody? Nick Costos here with the Sports Betting Minute, brought to you by BetMGM. Make it legendary. Please gamble responsibly. Coming up Week 6 Pro Football Sunday night, a huge game. Kansas City hosts Detroit. Kansas City a 2.5-point home favorite. The total now 52.5. And Kansas City with a loss would fall to 2-4. I don't see Kansas City losing this game. Detroit, injuries to the secondary. Kansas City's quarterback playing at an MVP level. I think Kansas City wins and covers the spread, and I think this game goes over the total, and I think there's room for it to move. Detroit can score on this KC defense and vice versa. KC and the over on Sunday. That's it for this Sports Betting Minute, brought to you by BetMGM. Download the BetMGM app today, and please gamble responsibly.
BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
When your reputation's on the line, you don't leave anything to chance, especially your primer. Painters trust Kills primers for a smooth start, strong adhesion, and serious stain-blocking power. And now, the full Kills lineup is available exclusively at the Home Depot. Need it fast? Get same-day or next-day delivery, or order online and pick up in-store. Kills primers. Pro results, faster. The Home Depot. If you're a pro, you know.
Prime Big Deal Days is here with great kitchen deals. Greatness is a deal away. So if you love baking, you can get a deal on a new mixer, transforming you into the Lord of the Loaves.
Hear ye! Make way for the baron of brioche, the sultan of sourdough, the lord of the loaves, prime member Dave!
Yeah, hi?
Get up to 40% off with Prime Big Deal Days now.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
From pads and rotors to shocks and struts, coming to a full stop should never mean your business does too. At Napa, we are the pros that know brakes and suspension better than anyone. So when others are grinding their gears, our premium parts and exceptional service deliver results. Whether you're operating a local shop or managing a national fleet, Napa has exactly what you need, when and where you need it. Get the brake and suspension parts you're looking for right now at Napa.
This report is brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts, your professional parts people.
Right now, receive up to a $25 O'Reilly gift card after rebate with the purchase of select Superstart batteries at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts. We've got a crash up north, 29 northbound as you approach 435. It is the left lane blocked to Blue Springs. That's a stall, 470 southbound, just past 40 Highway. Right lane is blocked. From the Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, Electric Traffic Center, I'm Val, 96.5 The Fan.
Subscribe to 96.5 The Fan on YouTube to watch the show from wherever you are.
All right, we'll get back to the Chiefs coming up at the top of the hour, but I want to play for you guys the updates from Bob Fesco regarding the future of the stadiums. Now, in no way am I trying to diminish, disparage the updates from Bob Fesco. I got to play him for you. He's got news. I consider Bob to be a friend. He's a colleague. I got to play him for you. But some of this is, I just feel like we've been doing this for 18 months. You know I love a good relationship analogy. Every fella listening has been in this place before. You're just sitting there with the young lady, your partner, whomever it can be, and then she just looked at you and like, so what are we? Where is this going? That's where I feel like we are with the Royals and the Chiefs. So where are we going? What are we doing? We're no closer to figuring out where the stadiums are going to be. But every once in a while, we get a little bit of a breadcrumb. We get a little bit of a, oh, hey, this is news, when it really ain't news. Here's Bob on the latest with the Royals. So the Royals, they reached out to Clay County, and they're entertaining the Clay County idea again. They still got the Washington Square Park idea. They still got the 119th and Knoll idea. The Royals don't know what they're going to do. Here's Bob Fesco.
Clay County would also have to vote in, Dusty, a sales tax. I heard yesterday somewhere between 0.75% and 1% sales tax. That would push the sales tax in Clay County and KC Mo to about 9.5%, and in Liberty to 9.75% sales tax. So essentially a 10% tax on everything that you buy would be the new kind of tax rate up in Clay County if you're in KC Mo and if you're in Liberty. And you also need a vote of the people if you're going to go to Clay County. In Kansas, you don't need a vote of the people. I don't think anybody wants to go to the vote of the people. Plus, Clay County is not accessible by any sort of highways whatsoever. It's just a bad location. And in Clay County also, too, the one thing that people aren't factoring in, the Royals, if they go to 119th and Knoll, are there by themselves. There's no entertainment competition for them. If you build in Clay County, you're competing with Power and Light. And you know what else you're competing with? That massive entertainment district that the Kansas City Current are building right there across the river. The Clay County thing makes zero sense for me whatsoever. And it just doesn't sound like anything that seems, ooh, that sounds good for the Royals. You know, the Atlanta Braves did this 20 years ago. They built the TED, if you will, downtown Atlanta, where they had the Olympics. They converted it. 20 years later, they moved to the suburbs. That's what I think would happen in Clay County. They would build that stadium. It wouldn't give them what they want. And in 20 years, we're doing this again. And then we're really talking about, you know, going out to Johnson County. So from the Royal standpoint, I just think the Clay County idea is just a terrible, terrible, terrible idea.
All right, a couple of things. I guess thing number one, I live in downtown Kansas City. There's not enough things that happen in Power and Light for you to feel like you're competing against Power and Light. If it's not hot country nights or an event going on, people ain't down there, man. People are not down there on a random Monday to go down there and eat or go to bars or shop. That's not what Power and Light is in the city. That's what Westport is. That's what other parts of the city are. That's not what Power and Light is. That's what the Plaza is. People go down there randomly to hang out, and people do not use Power and Light in that way in this city. Come on now, we know that. That's number one. This is number two, and I don't think Bob has the answer. I don't think anybody has this answer. No one's ever been able to, I guess, answer it for me. If the Kansas offer is so great, why haven't the teams now in 19 months, why haven't they just taken it? The vote ended last April. It's the next year, October. The Kansas offer has never changed. It can't change. At any point, if the Chiefs just were like, we're done, you can't get anything more out of Kansas than what you already can. Same thing for, I guess, why is this taking so long if the answer is just going to be we're going to Kansas? I don't know. Maybe you have the answer, 913-586-7965. I don't know. I don't know why they just haven't done that, if that's what the plan is going to be. And in the end, especially if it's the Chiefs. With the Royals, I think it's different. I think the Royals legitimately don't know. The Chiefs just have fewer options because there's fewer places in the city that would make sense for the Chiefs. There's the Legends and where they currently are. Do you want to build a new stadium or do you want to renovate where you are? Now, if they're getting all the information, I'll play that for you now, sure. But at least for the Royals, they're only thinking about building a new stadium, and they're not thinking about building a new stadium where they currently are. So there's a couple of different places for it. I get why the Royals is taking so long. But if this new deal is so great, why are we still going through this? I don't think we're going to get any clarity in the 2026. I think it's going to end up being like 2 years after the vote when we finally figure out what either one of these teams want to do. I want to play one more of this, and then we'll get back to football here coming up in a bit. Here's Fesco talking about the latest plans for the Chiefs.
The Chiefs are also going to put out an RFP, or an RFQ as they call it in their world, a request for proposal is what an RFP is, to every other design firm in the world that has built stadiums to say, hey, we're going to potentially build new in Kansas. Show us your best effort. So they're going to go to every architectural firm in the world, okay? And they're telling them, other than Populous, who's working on a renovated Arrowhead, they're going to every architectural firm in the world, give us your best people, give us your best design, put your best foot forward, let's see what you got. And those are 4 stadiums potentially in Kansas right now, right? The renovation is what's staying in Missouri. A new build would be in Kansas. So they're getting the best of both worlds. They're doing all of their due diligence. Give us your best foot forward on renovation. Give us your best foot forward on new in Kansas. And so the news is they're still talking to both sides of the state line. Now, I have heard and been told by multiple reliable sources that if the Chiefs wanted to build a stadium in Kansas today, they already have multiple sites that they currently own where they could build a brand new stadium today. And the other thing that is out there, and we've talked about this, the Kansas City Chiefs have had long, in-depth conversations with the Olathe School District about building their practice facility out in Olathe and getting in together with the school district to make it a learning experience and a learning environment for the Olathe school districts.
This is what frustrates me, at least from the Chiefs' perspective. Why didn't the Chiefs do all of this and then ask us to vote? You're telling me now they're doing their due diligence on both ends? Now they're doing their due diligence on what a renovation would look like, what it would cost like, what's realistic, what's feasible. I'm just ready for this to be over. I imagine you guys are also ready for it to be over, but as a proud tax-paying citizen in Jackson County, I want some clarity, and neither team provides any clarity. We get every 6 weeks, whether it's Bob or Jonathan Ketz or our guy Matt Evans, we get a little bit of morsel that is packaged in a way that it is a new update. It's not. The Chiefs have been telling us this for 18 months. They are evaluating all of their options and keeping all of their options open. And the Royals are doing the exact same thing. They've been doing this for a long enough period of time. I don't think we find anything out in 2026. I don't think the Chiefs on week 11 heading into Thanksgiving are announcing what their plans is for the stadium. So I think the earliest we find something out is spring training for the Royals. I could very easily see when they start a new baseball season and surprise, they announce then what their plan is going to be heading into next year. I mean, you got to start sooner rather than later. The lease is just going to be up. I just don't know why they just didn't do a lot of this in silence and then bring it to us to vote on it. It just feels like they wanted the money and then they wanted to do the research on what they wanted to do with the money. And I think people saw right through that and just said, no, we're not giving it to you until you give us a plan of what you want to do with the money. Coming up on the other side, we'll get back to the Chiefs. We'll also play our conversation with the quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for K-State Athletics, 96.5. The Fan, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
And brought to you by Duke's Mayonnaise. We've got the crash up north still working, 29 northbound. As you approach 435, it is the left lane blocked. Overland Park, that's a stall, and that is big backups, 435 southbound on the ramp to 87th. From the Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, Electric Traffic Center on Val 96.5, The Fan.
Hey, folks, it's Carrington Harrison from The Drive here. Many men remember their first time. Not that first time. I'm talking about the first time that erectile dysfunction ruined that special moment. And if you're over 50, then the chances are then you've experienced this before. That first time can be frustrating. It can be a little bit embarrassing. But here's the good news. At Heartland Men's Health, that first time can also be the last time. Heartland Men's Health specializes in treating ED when the pills and herbals fail. With a success rate of over 90%, many men see results just after one visit. So your first visit is just $99, which includes a consult, lab work, and if medically advised, you get a test dose. And if it doesn't work right there in the office, then your visit is on the house. So don't let ED define your sex life. Call my friends at Heartland Men's Health today at 844-447-6600 or check out the website, heartlandmenshealth.com today. You can also stop by and visit any of the 3 area locations, Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City. Be sure to stop by Heartland Men's Health.
Calling all Chiefs fans. You could be on the field at the 50 inside GEHA Field for the official coin toss at a Chiefs home game this season. Visit Chiefs.com/GEHA now. Enter to win a chance to be on the field for a once-in-a-lifetime view of the pregame coin toss.
Call it in the air.
Plus, you can score other exclusive prizes. Enter for a chance to win at Chiefs.com/GEHA. GEHA is a proud partner of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Brought to you by Duke's Mayonnaise.
This is the Duke's country song. It's a song about the best mayo. It has a yellow lid, and its full name is Duke's Mayonnaise. Get Duke's Mayo in store. It's got twang.
FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, is coming to Missouri. On December 1st, you'll finally be able to bet on all your favorite teams and all your favorite sports. With FanDuel, there's a ton of ways for you to get in on the action. You can bet everything from the money line to over-unders to which team will win it all. You'll be able to build parlays, bet player props, or even ride the live line. Whatever your style, FanDuel has you covered. Plus, with live betting, you can pick which player will score the next touchdown or the touchdown after that. However you play your game, FanDuel's got your back. On December 1st, you'll be able to see for yourself why FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. With FanDuel, there's a ton of ways for you to get in on the action. FanDuel, play your game. FanDuel Sportsbook is an official sports betting partner of the NFL and 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Looking for the ultimate spot to watch Sunday football? It's all happening at Brew Brothers inside Harris Casino, Kansas City. With NFL Sunday Ticket, you'll catch every game, every Sunday. So no matter who you root for, your team is always on. Add in ice-cold drinks, mouth-watering food, and a crowd that loves football just like you. And you've got the perfect game day atmosphere. Every snap, every score, every Sunday. Brew Brothers is football headquarters. Be there this weekend at Harris's Kansas City. 21 or older to gamble. Know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Kansas City, it's time to turn up the heat. The Westport Sunfresh is back and better than ever. Now proudly part of the Cosentino Food Stores family. We're celebrating with a re-grand opening you won't want to miss. That means 3 full weeks of hot savings on the freshest produce, premium meats, and all your grocery favorites. Come experience the new and improved Westport Sunfresh, your neighborhood store, now with even more local love. Located in the heart of Westport, only at Cosentino's Westport Sunfresh.
When your team's best players have all been traded and the latest pick is overrated, just raise a glass with a friend or two and tell them more, tell them more, tell them more do. May your team be great and your picks be true, and if it falls apart, you'll know what to do. Just raise a glass with a fan or two and tell them more, tell them more, tell them more do. It's a crazy world, so what do? You tell them more, tell them more, tell them more do. Hey!
Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, imported by William Grant & Sons.
Hey Kansas City, it's Brian Pringle with Victory Ford at the Legends in KCK. Our summer sales event is here and the deals are hotter than ever. Right now, drive home in a brand new 2025 Ford Escape or Bronco Sport starting at under $30,000. Or lease for just $399 a month with 0 down. Need something bigger? Check out the spacious new Explorer, the larger Bronco where you can pop the top and doors off for those nice fall days, or the always tough F-150 STX Crew Cab 4-wheel drive. Just 0 down and $499 a month. Lease payments are plus tax, title, and license. And folks, if you haven't checked out the versatile Ford Maverick, you're missing out. At Victory Ford, we have them in stock starting under $30,000. That's unbelievable value, a pickup that even fits right in your garage. Kansas City, if you haven't been behind the wheel of a new Ford lately, now's the time. The build quality is second to none, and we've got the selection ready for you today. So don't wait. Visit us at the Legends in KCK or online at victoryfordkc.com Victory Ford, where our first price is better than our last.
Chiefs coverage sponsored by Renner Garage Door, RENNER, forward and back.
Hey, it's almost Andy Reid. Renner Garage Door has proudly served our community for decades. The best styles, technology, and family values. That's Renner. Get your free repair or replacement quote today. Forward and back.
RENNER, RENNER.
What's up, KC? It's Hollywood Brown. Tune in on game days to hear the play-by-play with Mitch, Danny, and Kling on your home for Chiefs football, 96.5 The Fan.
KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
Congratulations on getting through your 9 to 5. Thank you so much for listening. It is The Drive. You were listening to The Drive on 96.5 The Fan. Coming up in about 10 minutes, we'll play our conversation with the quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs. Before we do that, it feels like a very good time to just take a look at where we kind of sit right now in the AFC. This is one of the few times that I can remember in recent memory that the Chiefs just kind of feel like one of the guys. The Chiefs have usually been the team that kind of sets the tone and sets the pace. They are usually considered to be either the best team or in the small group of elite teams in the National Football League. I don't think you can say that so far this season. Now, that is not to say that they can't get there by the end of the season. And yes, we all acknowledge that there is a lot of time left. But when you have 2 wins, one is against, I would say, the most disappointing team this season, the Baltimore Ravens, and a Giants team that looks like they're going to pick in the top 5, you don't have that marquee banner win. And for the other losses that you've had, you've played good teams and you've lost to those teams. But I don't really think that there's any reason to at least panic when having that conversation. But I do think you have to at least take a look at the rest of the AFC. And right now, as it is as much about you playing well and getting right as it is just keeping track and keeping in line with the other teams. Now, one silver lining, Rob, if you were taking a look ahead with the Chiefs' schedule, you still got a lot of really important games left against some really important teams. You still got 2 games left against the Denver Broncos. You still have your home game coming up against the Los Angeles Chargers. You play Buffalo. You play Indianapolis. And I think if you are looking at the standings as where we currently sit, I would say 3 of the 4 current division leaders are not teams that the public believes in. The public does not believe in the Indianapolis Colts. The public doesn't believe in the Pittsburgh Steelers. The public also doesn't believe in the Los Angeles Chargers. So it feels like we are very much in flux, at least with our expectations for teams and where they currently are. I also think if I'd asked you at the very beginning of the season, who do you think are the best teams in the league? A majority of those teams have not sort of lived up to those expectations. We mentioned the Ravens. They're one of the 5 worst teams right now in the National Football League. I don't care what their preseason expectations were. They are not a good team right now. San Francisco looks like they're one of the better teams, but doing it in a little bit of a different fashion. I don't care what the record looks like for the Eagles. That is not a dominant team, and there is not a big gap between them and everybody else right now in the National Football League. The Packers got off to a very hot start early in the season. Their last 2 games, they lost to the Browns and they tied against the Dallas Cowboys. So a lot of those teams that we kind of deem to be those heavyweight championship contending teams, I would say either we don't believe in those teams, Colts, Chargers, Steelers, etc., or they're a little bit down from where our expectations were. It is starting to transition from early in the season to that middle portion of the season. I mean, we are almost at the 1/3 pole of the season. This is week 6 of the NFL season. We will have sat here for 6 Sundays in theory and watched the Kansas City Chiefs. And it feels like the Chiefs sort of have 2 parts. There's the part of the season as you are waiting to get through Rashee Rice's suspension. And we'll find out if you're at 500 when that is over or you're 2-4 heading into the remaining 11 games of the season. So it just feels like that's where we are, at least when it comes to this team. We can talk more about this AFC portion, Rob, of it before we play Patrick Mahomes, but that's where it feels like we are right now. The AFC feels a little bit more wide open than I think people had anticipated it being. We're still trying to figure out if some of those teams are legitimate. How good can the Colts be this season? How good can the Pittsburgh Steelers be this season? Will one of the other teams outside of Kansas City emerge in the AFC West? It's still a lot of uncertainty, and we have a lot of time to figure it out. But the conference feels like it's a little bit more competitive and well-rounded than we had anticipated, and it certainly feels that way in the division. There are 3 teams that can legitimately win the AFC West. If you want to consider Kansas City to be the favorite, that's perfectly fine. But the Broncos have as much of a claim to it right now of, well, our record could be this if you change a couple of these things. And the Chargers got off to a really hot start, winning those 3 games, and now they've fallen on a little bit of hard times. And now it's going to be who can stay healthy, who can out-execute, who can align themselves well over the final 12, 11 weeks of the season.
How much of that uncertainty in the AFC right now stems from the people we thought would be playing quarterback at certain teams are either A, hurt, or B, their team has let them down? Because preseason, me and you talked about how the AFC has this just behemoth grouping of quarterbacks. It was Mahomes, it was Allen, it was Lamar, it was Burrow, it was Herbert. Like, the list goes on. Like, we felt like, we thought CJ Stroud might take that step forward and be like the 6th or 7th. Like, that was what we were talking about. Now, we're about a little over a month into the season, and Lamar Jackson is hurt, and we don't know his timeline, and the Ravens stink. Joe Burrow is out. We think December, but they're hoping Joe Flacco can piece it together until he gets back. Like, Justin Herbert, his left tackle, is out for the season. Like, they're starting to take on a little water. Like, Mahomes, he hasn't had number 1 and number 2 wideouts for portions of the season. Like, how much of that uncertainty and that ability to poke holes in people's resume in the AFC is just stemming from we haven't gotten the quarterback play we expected, whether it be from injuries on the team or injuries to that player? Because I would imagine even the most hardcore Colts fan would have told you they're going to look like this with Daniel Jones at this point, because people just inherently don't trust that quarterback. How much of that uncertainty in the conference and even somewhat in the division stems from the quarterbacking hasn't been up to what we expected at this point in the season?
Yeah, this is where at least I am currently with the Chiefs. I guess just to give you like a state of my thought process with the Chiefs, I feel like the Chiefs right now are in a little bit of a weird space. We talk about the Chiefs and what they've accomplished, and they've done a lot. When you won 3 straight AFC championship games, or been to 3 straight AFC championship games, I guess they've won them. They played in 3 straight Super Bowls. When you've been to 3, when you won your division 9 consecutive times, when you have been to 5 of the last 6 Super Bowls, you would be silly to completely disregard all of that and solely focus on the first 5 games of the NFL season. So if you were disregarding what they've been in the past, I think that's the wrong way to look at the Kansas City Chiefs. We also are not in week 12, 11, 13, where we can kind of, I think, project on where they're going to be. They're not there yet. I think they're a little bit in the middle, and I think right now we are all asking ourselves the question, aside from Rashee Rice, because that is a major part of this conversation. They get Rashee Rice back literally 1 week from today. 1 week from today, he can start to practice with the team again. He is already in the facility, but he can actually go on the field and play with the Kansas City Chiefs. Aside from Rashee Rice, how do they get from where they've always been, which is usually atop of the AFC, and how do they get to where we think they are going to be? And that's why I've referenced, I think we are talking about sort of 2 portions of the Chiefs season. There is this portion 1 of the season, and then it feels like we are all waiting to see what it looks like after they get out of this homestand. They got 3 more home games. The Chiefs do not have to get on another plane in the month of October. They're done flying. They don't play another road game until November. November 2nd, they go on the road and play the Buffalo Bills, and which is probably going to be the biggest game in the regular season this year in the National Football League. Once they get on that plane, it feels like they start a second portion of their season, and that's usually when the real Chiefs start to emerge. Once they go back on the road again, they have a road game in 3 of their next 4 after that. They go on the road and play Buffalo, maybe the best team in the AFC. They go on the road and play Denver, which could be the best team in the AFC West. Say what you want about the Denver Broncos. The Broncos are going to be in this conversation, in my mind, until the end of this thing. If you look at their schedule, if you look at their team, you look at their defense, they are going to be in it. Their next 4 games are against the Jets, Giants, Cowboys, All of those games are either a neutral site like they are this week or at home. They go on the road and play Houston. So we are talking about when they end up playing Kansas City coming up in the middle of November, I expect the Broncos to be a 7-3, 8-3 kind of football team when we get there. I think they're well coached. I think they got a lot of weapons on offense. I think they got a good defense. I think the Broncos are going to be in this thing for the long haul. So back to Kansas City's schedule. They have a stretch of games in November where they play on the road against Buffalo, on the road against Denver, a home game against the Indianapolis Colts that none of us thought was going to be super important, but now looks like it's going to be very, very important. The Colts look like they could be a team that wins 11, 12, maybe 13 games and just ends up having one of those everything aligns themselves perfectly kind of season. And then on a short week, they go on the road and play the Cowboys. I don't want to sell the Cowboys like that's some Goliath task, but that's also a team that has shown you they can score a whole lot of points. So it just feels like the Chiefs' schedule and season kind of breaks up perfectly into two pieces. This is the figuring it out portion of it. You don't have Rashee Rice. You got new pieces on defense. You're trying to figure things out. But, man, once this month is over and once we get to November and you start playing the cream of the crop teams we perceive to be again in the National Football League, man, you would just like to feel like the defense is starting to kind of take that corner. You got Rashee Rice really integrated into the offense. That's the portion I think we can really start to evaluate the Chiefs in. That's usually when the Chiefs start to really turn up for the second half of the season. They usually start to get going around November, December. Well, it just lines up, man. Their most important games seem to happen in that 6-week stretch from their first game in November against the Buffalo Bills until they play the Chargers in the middle of December. We got Mahomes coming up here. Hit it, Rob.
He's QB1.
And at quarterback from Texas Tech, number 15, Patrick Mahomes.
He's a 3-time Super Bowl champion.
Mahomes moving to his left laterally, chased, holding it, and gets out of bounds and up the sideline. He's not out of bounds yet. He's at the 10, inside the 10, he dives for the end zone. Touchdown, Kansas City. A remarkable acrobatic scramble on a 27-yard run. Maybe the best play yet.
2-time MVP and 3-time Super Bowl MVP.
Patrick Mahomes with Mahomes magic. Starting left, peeling right. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns for the Chiefs.
And you can hear him right here every week with CDOT, exclusively on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan. Here's Patrick Mahomes.
The appearances by the quarterback, Patrick Mahomes, are brought to you by Telly Tire and Auto Centers. Winning starts with a great drive. Since 1942, Telly certified techs have delivered complete car care with top brand tires and expert auto service. Keep your drive going. Take it to Telly. Visit tellytire.com today. Earlier today, we got a chance to catch up with the quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs. Our conversation started with the Monday Night Football Countdown interview with Jason, Travis Kelce, and also Coach Reed.
Yeah, I mean, it's really cool. I mean, obviously those are guys that are going to be in Canton one day, and to be able to have conversation with them, and obviously they're all friends of mine, and so really cool just to get the insight. And obviously the stuff on camera is awesome, but the stuff behind the scenes is even better. And so honored to call them friends and my coach and my teammate.
I went back and looked this up. Do you remember your first Sunday Night Football game at Arrowhead? Because I completely forgot when it was. Do you remember it?
No, only one I can think of is like the Bengals one. I don't know if that was the first one though. That was one of the early ones in my career.
That was your first. You guys won 45-10. I looked this up. You threw for 4 touchdown passes. Kareem Hunt led you guys in rushing, and Travis Kelce led you guys in receiving. This was in your first year as a starter in 2018. Kareem Hunt leading you guys in rushing, and Travis Kelce leading you guys in receiving. Some things never change.
Yeah, no. I mean, we've had a good run, so. Yeah, I mean, obviously that was a good night, so hopefully we can do something to replicate that. But I mean, we're going up against a great Lions team, so I think it'll be a tough challenge for us, but we're excited for it.
You talked about this before, that 3:25 is your favorite time, but what is it like to play under the lights at night at Arrowhead?
It's really cool. I mean, obviously the fans and like how loud they are and how passionate they are. But I think just the stadium and just being in the stadium and the whole environment. I mean, you can feel the history of the game. You can feel the history of the stadium. And so to be able to come out of the tunnel and be at Arrowhead, a night game, it's a thing that I'll never get tired of and something that I'll cherish. those memories later on in life.
Right now, we're talking to the quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes. Patrick, I feel like we were in the exact same place the last time that you guys were in a home game. You guys were 1-2, and it was the difference in being 2-2 and then 1-3. I feel like we're in the exact same place heading into this matchup against the Lions.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're going up against another good football team, and a game that we really need to win. And so it's going to take us just being the best that we could possibly be. I think we've done it in spurts throughout the regular season so far, but we got to be better at being consistent through an entire game from the beginning to the end, and that's what it's going to take in order to win this football game.
What is it about the Lions' offense that makes them so dynamic?
Yeah, I mean, they got a lot of great players, and they have a really good scheme. So, I mean, I think they do a great job. I mean, obviously they can run the ball, they can pass the ball. Jared's done a great job of distributing the ball to all their different playmakers, and when you have that many good players and that good of a scheme, it's hard to account for, and they've done a good job of that these last few years.
Is it frustrating for you to see the improvements and growth that you guys have had in the team, but maybe not that being reflective in the record? I think the offense has had a great transformation over the course of the season so far, but you guys sit here in 2-3. Is it frustrating to see the progress that you guys are having on a day-to-day basis, but that not being reflective in the record?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think it's just frustrating to lose in general. So, I mean, I think obviously all you can do is continue to get better and better. But more than that, I think obviously we've done a lot of things positively, offensively, but we got to make the winning plays. If you look at all our losses, if it's the interceptions down in the red zone or a couple plays here and there, we haven't made those winning plays offensively, and so I think that's something that we can improve on. And if we do that, I think with how we're playing offensively, the rest of the way, that we can be a high-powered offense and help take pressure off our defense so they can go out there and do what they need to do.
You personally, and a lot of guys on your team, you've been through the ups and downs of a season, so I don't think that you personally are in a panic mode. How are you keeping guys kind of even keel that haven't been through the battles, haven't been through the ups and downs, that just because we're 2-3, there's still obviously a lot of time to turn this thing around?
Yeah, I mean, all you can do is focus on the day. You know, we've kind of had all types of different seasons over my tenure, but we've always figured it out at some point. And so we're going to go to work like we always do, try to keep up the intensity, get better at executing and cleaning up the penalties and the little things that we've done throughout the beginning of this year. But at the end of the day, man, we got to go out there and just execute and go out there and prove it on Sundays. And we haven't been able to make those winning plays, and we got to find a way to make those plays. And all we can do is focus on today's practice and focus on this week against the Lions.
Right now, we're talking to the quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes. Patrick, let's go back to the Monday night game. Can you take us through the interception? Can you take us through what you saw? Can you take us through the play?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they were in that kind of a cover zero type look, and we had after just film and stuff like that, when they gotten inside that 5-10 yard area, they haven't shown what we call poppers, where guys blitz and then they pop back out, and that's something that they did more in the field, and so we were alert for that in the field. But obviously, I got to the check that I believe was going to be the right play, and even though that I hadn't seen it on film, I got to still see the throw before I throw it. So I got to the check and we got Juju wide open, and we thought they might do what they did, which is two guys take one of our receivers. But you got to still see the guy in front of Juju and try to progress to the next route. So obviously, you can't make that mistake in that type of game. And then after that, I got to find a way to get them down on a tackle or slow them down for my teammates to get there and make that tackle, because that was a 14-point swing, and it obviously was costly and it kind of cost us the game.
I was going to ask you about that tackle. What are you advised to do in this situation? Obviously, you're a very important player. No one wants you to get injured on that play. Are you trying to bring him down? Are you trying to slow him down, push him out of bounds? Like, what's your thought process when that's happening?
No, I mean, I've never been advised anything else other than get the guy down. I mean, I'm a football player at the end of the day, and I made the mistake, so I got to find a way to make the tackle. And he got me with a good move, and I wasn't able to get anything on him to slow him down enough for the other guys to get there. But when you're kind of in that quarterback position on interceptions, it's kind of like playing safety. You're kind of the last line of defense, and if you don't make the play, you got to at least slow him down for others to get there to make the play.
Patrick, I don't feel like a lot of people are going to reference this, and I get it, you guys lost the game, but the drive that you guys put together for your last offensive drive where you got a complete, set of time, that was like a really good drive. What do you think made that drive so successful?
Yeah, I think guys just accepted the challenge. We've been in those situations before, but it was good to see guys accept the challenge of kind of dealing with some of the adversity that we had dealt with the interceptions and the kind of the stalling out drives that we had in that second half, and guys to step up and say, we need a touchdown, let's go get a touchdown. And we did a great job. The offensive line did a great job protecting in that situation. The guys got open down the field, and then we didn't hurt ourselves with penalties or anything like that. So that showcases what we can be, but we got to do that more consistently throughout an entire game.
I feel like watching a lot of these shows that you've been featured in, I've seen you train. I know the kind of work that you put in. And when you had that run where you get away from the defense, I felt like I had that one Leonardo DiCaprio gift, like, ooh, I've seen him work on that before.
Yeah, no, I prepare for this stuff, and I know I might not be like the number one rusher or anything like that, but I always prepare myself that I can get out of trouble if I need to, and whenever it's called for, I try to use my legs and use my mobility to go out there and make things happen.
Talking to Patrick Mahomes here for a couple more minutes. Patrick, what do you make of the AFC right now and the amount of parity that appears to exist? Also in the division, this feels like you guys are in the middle of a very difficult race with 3 teams that could possibly win this thing.
Yeah, I think the AFC just in general, really in the NFL just in general. I mean, there's so much parity, and Coach Reed says it like every year, but he's been huge on it. And all these games come down to one-score games for the most part, and it's about who can execute at the higher level and win those games. And we've done a good job of doing that throughout our my career here, but we haven't done that this year, and that's the difference of being in a place that you want to be in and then being in a place where you don't want to be. And so we got to be better at these one-score games, finding ways to win the game. And that comes with execution, and we got to continue to get better and better at that sooner rather than later.
You and I haven't really got a chance to talk about it. Your thoughts on the kickoff rule? Are you a fan of it? Do you like it? Do you not like it? What do you make of the new kickoff rules?
I mean, it just is what it is. I'm not really partial either way. I'm just kind of play the game, and however the rules are presented. The rules are always changing a little bit here and there, and they're trying to make football the safest they can be, but also keep the integrity of the game, and I just play it with whatever the rules are when I show up that season.
Yeah, I was just curious, I guess, how it affects offenses because, one mistake, the ball can be on the 40-yard line, and just starting the ball on the 40-yard line is just such a tremendous advantage. I was just curious from an offensive perspective, how do you guys attack it with field position being so different this year?
Yeah, I mean, I just play with wherever we end up at. I think it makes special teams important. I think that's more important than maybe these last few years with the kickoffs kind of going through the back of the end zone. So I think it makes you have to execute high on special teams, and I feel like we have one of the best special teams out there, and I'm sure they're going to clean some stuff up from this last week. But overall, I feel like it's an advantage for us as far as the kickoffs and the returners that we have and the coaches that we have that we can use that to our advantage. We just got to be better than we were this last week.
Last 2 things here. As you guys begin a new week, as you guys begin a practice week, what's your mindset going into a very important home game for you guys and a very important home stretch with 3 straight home games?
Yeah, I mean, it's time to go. I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, we've gotten 3 losses now, and like you said, it's a very tight, contested division and AFC, and so there's no more waiting around. We're playing a really good football team this week that plays extremely hard, and we know it's gonna be a great challenge. But we gotta match the intensity. We gotta match the opportunity and go out there and find a way to win the football game no matter what it takes.
I'll get you out of here with this last question. One of the big talking points on the show from fans yesterday was about Chris Jones on the final defensive play of the game. I'm curious, just as one of the leaders and he also being one of the leaders on the team, how do you guys talk about accountability? How do you guys hold each other accountable in those situations?
Yeah, I mean, I believe in Chris Jones no matter what, man. He's done so much for this team and for this organization, being a leader, and I think people don't even understand how much of a leader he is on this team. But he's a guy that's kind of made us go throughout my career, and I know in big moments he's going to make big plays. And so people always look back and see stuff after losses and stuff like that, and they judge that stuff, but I judge the guy, the character he brings into the building every single day.
That is the quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, joining us on the show today. They are on Sunday Night Football this week against the Detroit Lions. Patrick, man, really appreciate your time. Catch up with you next week.
Yeah, appreciate you.
That is the quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes. His appearances on the show are brought to you by Telly Tire and Auto Center. Winning starts with a great drive. Since 1942, Telly certified techs have delivered complete car care with top brand tires and expert auto service. Keep your drive going. Take it to Telly. Visit tellytire.com today. Coming up on the other side, we'll talk about Chris Jones. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison. Watch the show on YouTube by subscribing to the 965 YouTube channel. The Drive, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. 96.5, The Fan.
This is Dana Hughes. In Kansas City football, we honor tradition, but we always look forward to what's next. That's why I'm all in for Flight by Yingling. It's brewed by the oldest brewery in America, but built for today. 2.6 carbs, 95 calories, crisp, clean, and full of flavor, just the way a light beer should be. It's got the legacy and the stats to back it up. Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer and the official beer of Dana Hughes. BG Yingling and Son, Pottsville, Pennsylvania.
Shopping for a new Ford? Go where it's easy. Rob Sight Ford. Non-commissioned staff, huge trade-in values, and Kansas City's top-rated Ford dealer. Rob Sight Ford. ROBSIGHT.com.
Doug. Limu and I always tell you to customize your car insurance and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. But now, we want you to feel it. Cue the emu music, Limu.
Save yourself money today. Increase your wealth. Customize and save, we say.
That may have been too much feeling.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Savings vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
Discover the latest HVAC, plumbing, and trade solutions with companies like Milwaukee and Champion and 20-plus other vendors at the Kansas City Wind Supply Group Vendor Showcase. Thursday, October 23rd, 3 to 6 at J. Rieger & Co. Distillery. Plus, enjoy complimentary food, drinks, tours, prizes, and networking.
Around here, we've got each other's backs. When it comes to health insurance, we want that same kind of support. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City gets that. They're from around here too. Backed by the national strength of the Cross and Shield, they help you make confident choices, no matter where you are. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. From here for wherever you are. That's the benefit of blue.
DQ presents the sound of your next meal at DQ. It's the sound of savoring a signature stack burger, loving a chicken strip basket, or digging into everyday value with the $7 meal deal. Wait, where is the sound? Am I missing something? Oh, it's quiet because they're too busy enjoying their DQ food. Makes sense. So delicious and so peaceful. Grab your favorite from the DQ food menu today at participating U.S. locations. Only at DQ. Happy tastes good.
Around here, we've got each other's backs. When it comes to health insurance, we want that same kind of support. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City gets that. They're from around here too. Backed by the national strength of the Cross and Shield, they help you make confident choices, no matter where you are. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. From here for wherever you are. That's the benefit of blue.
Legendary doesn't happen by chance. It happens because it's what BetMGM does. Sign up for BetMGM and check out all the exciting new ways you can make this pro football season unforgettable. Shoot your shot with same-game parlays, call your plays like a pro with live betting, or bet on a market you didn't know existed thanks to BetMGM Originals. You'll be on the edge of your seat from the very first snap, no matter what type of fan you are. Earn BetMGM rewards points on every bet. Take advantage of football offers found nowhere else, like a second chance on a first touchdown bet, and keep an eye out for rewards dropping in your account throughout the season. Never settle for the ordinary. Sign up today. BetMGM. Make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. Must be 21 years of age or older. Specific promotional offers are not available in Mississippi, New York, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. Subject to eligibility requirements in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Chiefs coverage brought to you by Community America Credit Union. Member owned, open to all. Community America Credit Union. Invested in you. Cody and Gold are broadcasting live this Friday from Community America Credit Union's Red Friday Tailgate in Raymore. Located at 1400 West Foxwood Drive. Meet the Chiefs cheerleaders and Casey Wolf. Grab Chiefs gear and win tickets to an upcoming Chiefs game. This Friday, only at Community America Credit Union in Raymore.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Brought to you by Community America CU downtown. That's a stall with big backup, 670 westbound, just past Broadway in the right lane. And then 71 southbound now, just past 31st. That's a stall in the right lane causing backups there. From the Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, Electric Traffic Center on Val 96.5 The Fan.
Welcome to your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
Obviously, going into every game, Patrick Mahomes is the most important player. I mean, he's the quarterback of the team. I think second this week, I think it's very obvious who the most important player on their team is. I think it's Chris Jones. I don't think the Chiefs can win this game without a very good, very productive version of Chris Jones. I think the Lions are the most complete team in the National Football League. Offense, defense, special teams, offensive line, weapons, coaching, mentality. There is not a team in the league that I think pressures you the way that the Lions do. They're going to go for it on 4th and 3 where your opponent would usually punt. So it forces you to kind of match their aggressiveness and to match their intensity. Do you want Jared Goff to throw for 400 yards? I mean, he can. Do you want their 2 running backs to run for 125 yards against you? They can. I think the Lions are one of the few teams that can beat you any kind of way. I think the Chiefs' offense has shown that if this turns into a high-scoring kind of game, I think that is a game that the Chiefs can win. I think their offense has earned that over the last handful of weeks. If this ends up being a 35-31 great Sunday night football, 2 good teams going back and forth shootout, I think the Chiefs offense in week 6 is equipped to win that matchup. I think that team is equipped to do that. I think if you're going to win this game, you're very obviously going to need stops. And you're going to need to kind of take something away that the Lions can do really well. I don't think you can do that without Chris Jones. So I know that Chris Jones has taken a lot of arrows over the last 24, 48 hours, and he should. The effort given on the final play is inexcusable. He knows that, and they know that. Here is Andy Reid.
Well, you can't think that the guy's down. I mean, you can't think that. You got to just play the play. He knows. I mean, he's been around this thing a long time, so that's really what it came down to.
So I don't care what Chris Jones needs to do to get ready for this week. I just want him to do it. If you feel like you needed to shut down all the outside noise and you got a lot of stuff happening in your personal life and you got a lot of stuff happening in your professional life and you feel like you needed to block all that noise out and just focus on football and keep the main thing, I got no problem with that if that's how you felt was the best course of action in order to get this thing done. I really don't have any problems with it. But I don't really see a pathway for the Chiefs to win this game. And we talked about this yesterday. It was the lead of the show. Man, you need your stars to play like stars. And in the losses that the Chiefs have had, they have had their star players, their leaders, their captains. Those have been the guys in the middle who have let you down. It's been a pick six. It's been a missed interception. It's been a dropped interception that turns into points for the other team. It's been not giving the effort on the defensive line. It's been their stars. You're going to need your stars to play well because if there's something I do know, it is that the key players for the Lions, they usually play well. You usually are not stopping David Montgomery and stopping Jahmyr Gibbs. You are normally not taking Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jamison Williams out of the game and Sam Laporte out of the game. They got enough guys on that defensive line. Somebody gets home, somebody forces the pressure, somebody hits the quarterback because they're one of the more talented teams in the National Football League. So, Rob, as we move forward from Monday Night Football and now we're looking at Sunday Night Football, you really need Chris Jones in this one. You need him mentally back in the fold. You need him to be the disruptive, best defensive tackle in the National Football League, occupying gaps, taking up blockers, wreaking havoc. You need that version of Chris Jones, I think, to beat the Lions.
I think Chris Jones is the most important name, but it is going to be that entire defensive line. And you just heard Patrick Mahomes in our last segment. You can catch on the podcast page. He talks about he's not going to judge Chris Jones by one play. He's going to judge him by the character and the leader and the person he is in the building. I don't see those things. You don't see those things, but everyone in the building speaks glowingly of Chris Jones. So let's take them at their word. I think Chris Jones is going to need to have a great game, and I think he's going to have to motivate or, do something as a leader to get more out of the rest of that defensive line group against the Lions. Because it is not just, hey, Chris Jones be great, and the Lions, they'll struggle. Trust me. You're going to have Ashton Gelati, Omar Norman-Lott if he's healthy playing well. You're going to need Derek Nottie. May stop committing holding penalties, Derek Nottie. You're going to need him to play well. You're going to need Charles Omenihu to get off a milk carton and come out and have a good game. You're going to need that win rate that George Karlaftis is doing a great job with the analytics on. You're going to need that to turn into a sack or two on Sunday. Chris Jones needs to channel that energy and anger he had that we presume he had because he deleted social media and is now, we presume, being told about it from the coaching staff. He needs to channel that in to him and his room having a good day. Because if the O-line of the Lions with Penei Sewell and that whole group bullies the Chiefs D-line, I don't care how good Xavier Worthy is. I don't care how good the Chiefs offense is. If the Lions O-line mauls the Chiefs D-line, I've seen that movie before. The Lions do it to a lot of teams in the league, and it will be a Lions victory at Arrowhead. So, Chris, hey, you've deleted Twitter. You've refocused. You're re-energized. Get your room to follow your lead and go out and have a great game on Sunday Night Football.
I'm with you. I think that's a really good point that the Lions are one of the few teams that can really beat you up on both sides of the line of scrimmage. I think they have arguably the best offensive line in the National Football League, and they have a player that I think should be in the Defensive Player of the Year. We've seen Aiden Hutchinson go win them a game this season. It was a close game against the Ravens. It was a shootout kind of game. Who forced the fumble? Who made the big defensive play to swing things in their favor? It was Aiden Hutchinson. I got a lot of respect for this Lions team. If I was making a power ranking, I would put the Lions at number 2. I still think Buffalo's the best team in the National Football League. I would put the Lions at number 2. I think that is a very complete, very well-coached team that feels and carries themselves like they're the best team in the National Football League. I want to read this to you guys really quickly. Text line 913-586-7965. See that the Lions haven't beaten a good team yet. Cupcake schedule. I don't want to play that game yet in the National Football League for a couple of different reasons. Number one, I'm not really sure who's good yet in the National Football League. And I think if you start doing that, you could poke holes in just about everybody's wins and everybody's schedule. Like to this point, the Chiefs haven't beaten a team that I think is very good. They beat the Giants, that I think are one of the 5 worst teams in the league, and they have also beaten the Ravens, who I think are one of the 5 worst teams in the league. But I'm not here telling you that I don't think that the Chiefs are a good team. I just think we're at a very weird point right now in the NFL schedule where I don't know if we can say that pretty definitively yet. So when you look at Detroit, I mean, there's no question. Their 4 wins are against Chicago, Baltimore, Cleveland, and Cincinnati. I think it's very important to note they've scored at least 34 points in their last 4 games. So we're talking about an offense right now that is playing at a very, very high level. An offense that can throw the ball to Amon-Ra St. Brown, who had 100 yards receiving in their last game, or I think have the best 1-2 punch when we were talking about their run game in the National Football League. I'm not poking any holes in the Detroit Lions. I ain't here to respect the Lions. I think that's a very, very good team. I do want to talk about this coming up in a bit, and we'll dive into it more after the commercial break. I think things ultimately worked out for the Chiefs in the 2022 draft the way that it was supposed to. So the Chiefs drafted Sky Moore with the 54th overall pick. And boy, did that not work out. Do you know who was available a couple picks before that? Tyquan Thornton. He was the 50th pick that year in the NFL draft. Oddly enough, that pick was originally Kansas City's, but then it came from Miami in a roundabout kind of way. I mean, in the end, things turned out how they were supposed to turn out. I'm really optimistic about the future of this offense, not just in the short term with them getting Rashee Rice back, but if you were looking at the next 18 or longer period of time, if the Chiefs can bring back Tyquan Thornton next year, and we're talking about him being 25, 26 years old next year, you could really be looking at a real reimagined Chiefs offense where you have just gotten younger across the board. We all think this is Travis Kelce's last season, so you were just going to be younger at tight end than you were this past season. knock on wood, no injuries. You can have Rashee Rice as your number 1, Xavier Worthy as your number 2, Tyquan Thornton as your number 3. You spend a little bit of money at running back, so you've got a young running back. You're going to have to get one anyway because you have 3 running backs who are all on the final year of a contract. Like, we could go from an offense right now that at times didn't feel like it had everything or needed a level of explosiveness. We can be talking about a team that has completely kind of turned over their skill position players on the fly and been really, really productive. Tyquan Thornton is a player that I would like to see come back. Now, I don't know what the market looks for him next year. I mean, he's on a 1-year, $1 million deal. He certainly has played like a guy that is worthy of a multi-year contract. Now, I don't think a team is breaking the bank for Tyquan Thornton, but I think he's worth what they're paying Hollywood Brown. I think he's worth $8 million, between $8 to $10 million a year. And to go from where he was and getting outright released by the New England Patriots to then being picked up, available on the practice squad, no one wanted you but Kansas City, and they signed you to a 1-year, $1 million deal. To go from that to maybe next year being a 2 for $16 and you get $9 million guaranteed, that is a major turnaround. If you were talking about right now kind of investing a little bit more in the room, you don't have a whole lot of money tied up into that wide receiver room. You don't have a whole lot of money tied up into that running back room. A lot of that money in the tight end room is coming off the books. You really got a chance to really bolster some of the talent on the offensive side if we are projecting towards the offseason. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
This is Wyatt Thompson from K-State, and you're listening to The Drive with CDOT right here on 96.5 The Fan and the Odyssey app.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
The wait is finally over. Football season is here, and FanDuel is getting you ready for kickoff with an offer that you don't want to miss. New customers, you can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick a bet, any bet. Bet $5, and if it wins, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use all across the app. Use it how you want. Build your favorite parlays, bet player props, ride the live lines, whatever your style is. Remember, FanDuel has you covered. Be sure to check out FanDuel.com/KFNZ. Use that promo code to download the FanDuel app today and get started. FanDuel is an official sportsbook partner of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issue is non-withdrawable bonus bets which expire 7 days after restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Can help is your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700. Visit ksgamblinghelp.com.
Okay, I have to tell you. I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest. The last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying. Just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Introducing your new Dell PC with the Intel Core Ultra processor. It helps you handle a lot, even when your holiday to-do list gets to be a lot. Like organizing your holiday shopping and searching for great holiday deals and customer questions and customers requesting custom things, plus planning the perfect holiday dinner for vegans, vegetarians, pescatarians, and Uncle Mike's carnivore diet. Luckily, you can get a PC with all-day battery life to help you get it all done. That's the power of a Dell PC with Intel inside, backed by Dell's price match guarantee. Get yours today at Dell.com/deals. Terms and conditions apply. See Dell.com for details.
When your name's on the paint job, your primer better hold up. Painters trust Kills primers for serious adhesion, stain blocking, and a finish that lasts. Now, the full Kills lineup is available exclusively at the Home Depot. Need it fast? Get same-day or next-day delivery, or order online and pick it up in-store. Kills primers. Pro results. Faster. The Home Depot. If you're a pro, you know.
Legendary doesn't happen by chance. It happens because it's what BetMGM does. Sign up for BetMGM and check out all the exciting new ways you can make this pro football season unforgettable. Shoot your shot with same-game parlays, call your plays like a pro with live betting, or bet on a market you didn't know existed thanks to BetMGM Originals. You'll be on the edge of your seat from the very first snap, no matter what type of fan you are. Earn BetMGM rewards points on every bet. Take advantage of football offers found nowhere else, like a second chance on a first touchdown bet, and keep an eye out for rewards dropping in your account throughout the season. Never settle for the ordinary. Sign up today. BetMGM. Make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. Must be 21 years of age or older. Specific promotional offers are not available in Mississippi, New York, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. Subject to eligibility requirements in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Chiefs coverage sponsored by Renner Garage Door. RENNER forward and back.
Hey, it's almost Andy Reid. Renner Garage Door has proudly served our community for decades. The best styles, technology, and family values. That's Renner. Get your free repair or replacement quote today. Forward and back.
RENNER. RENNER.
Looking for the ultimate spot to watch Sunday football? It's all happening at Brew Brothers inside Harris Casino, Kansas City. With NFL Sunday Ticket, you'll catch every game, every Sunday. So no matter who you root for, your team is always on. Add in ice cold drinks, mouth-watering food, and a crowd that loves football just like you. And you've got the perfect game day atmosphere. Every snap, every score, every Sunday. Brew Brothers is football headquarters. Be there this weekend at Harris's Kansas City. 21 or older to gamble. Know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, Zach, are you smiling at my gorgeous canyon view?
No, Donald. I'm smiling because I've got something I want to tell the whole world.
Well, do it. Shout it out.
T-Mobile's got home internet.
Whoa, I love that echo. T-Mobile's got home internet.
How much is it?
Look at that, Zach. We got the neighbors' attention.
Just $35 a month. And you love a great deal, Denise.
Plus, they've got a 5-year price guarantee. That's 5 whole trips around the sun.
I'm switching. Me too.
Yes, T-Mobile home internet for the neighborhood.
Donald, you still haven't returned my weed whacker.
Carl, don't you embarrass me like this, please.
What's everyone yelling about?
T-Mobile's got home internet. And Donald's got my weed whacker.
Yes, T-Mobile's got home internet. Just $35 a month with auto pay and any voice line. And it's guaranteed for 5 years.
Beautiful yodeling, Carl.
Taxes and fees apply. See T-Mobile.com/ISP for details and exclusions.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Paid for, client portrayal, and endorsed. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
After my car wreck, there was a lot I didn't know.
I do know. If you've been hurt in a car wreck, call me. I've got this.
Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. You've got out near Shawnee, 435 southbound at Holiday Drive. Right lane is blocked by a stall. Downtown, that's a 2-car crash blocking the right lane, 670 westbound past Broadway. From the Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, Electric Traffic Center on Val 96.5, The Fan.
Hey, it's Rashi Rice from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome back to The Drive with C-Dot on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
All right, Rob, before we get out of here, I have 2 things from TikTok to share with you. One is personal, one's not personal. The first one is TikTok will just show you like local restaurants that just like look like they're very appealing. You'll be like, oh, I want to try that place. Now, I don't think I would ever go to this place because it just seems like really out of the way for me, just where I live. But there was this TikTok about this burger restaurant in Gardner, Kansas called Blazers. And it looked phenomenal. Like, it looked A1. I don't know if you guys have been there, you know where I'm talking about. I imagine somebody knows what I'm talking about. But there was this restaurant that I saw, and it was like this diner. And the burgers and the food, it looked kind of good, man. It looked very, very tasty.
Is that one of those like come with us as we try such and such restaurant influencers? Those have popped into my feed a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it looked like to me. It looked like one of those kind of places. That's absolutely what it looked like. The last thing I want to talk about before we sign off for the day is Cam Newton was on his podcast, and he said that he made his wife give up her list. Now, you know what list I'm talking about here. I don't really understand why you would care about something like this. It's very confusing to me. And his logic was, I just wanted to make sure that no one that I knew was on the list. I would also argue, why does that matter? I would say the only thing, Rob, that is in bounds in this, and I'm curious because you were married, The only thing to me is I would say, you know how like sometimes when you get like a all year pass and there's like certain blackout dates, like, all right, you can't go on Christmas, right? Like you can't go on New Year's Eve. I would say that anybody is on the board except for a small group of people that you are very, very close to. Like if she's talked to your brother in the past, I could understand why that would be an issue, or your best friend or somebody like this. But just because you know the other person and you don't have a relationship with them, but they were just in passing, I don't really think that should matter. I don't really feel like that should be that big of a deal. And I don't really know why you would want to know that information. It seems like it's information that can only make you mad and upset you. And why would you want to do that?
Nothing is gained by knowing that information. Because
not at all.
If in the scenario you laid out, if like your friend or your brother or someone you know, like, and you get serious with her, knows her in that regard, you will find out. You don't need to find out from her. Knowing the list is a problematic thing.
Yeah, I just don't really get, again, it'd be one thing. Like, there are a small group of people in my life that, yeah, don't talk to them. Like, it would like, or if you have, and you now see me talking to this person, you need to tell me. You're my man. You're my brother. Like, you should tell me in this scenario. But anybody else, I don't even know why you would care about that. Very, very odd behavior from Cam Newton, I would say. Very, very odd. All right, coming up on the other side, we are going to, who's going to be on the show? Gabe DeArmond's going to be on the show tomorrow.
Gabe DeArmond, Josh Briscoe.
We're trying to get Tim Tebow on the show because of SEC Nation.
That's
but Rob,
an uphill
he ain't going
battle.
to try hard enough. You don't want to know why? Because it's a Missouri thing. If it was a Big 12 thing, Rob would have Matt Leiter on the show. Rob would try a little harder. That's what he would do. All right, we'll catch you guys. Take care of yourself. It's the